on Scottsdale Blonde.
Scottsdale Blonde is a local favorite in all of your neighborhood watering holes. It's an Arizona staple.
It is a beer that is perfect for the Arizona weather.
You can drink it anywhere.
You can find Scottsdale Blonde at your local grocery store, retailers, and your favorite local beer shop. And as always, at findhousebeer.com.
Scottsdale Blonde. Hashtag bring the blonde, because it's an Arizona thing. That's what the Huss is about.
Do you need a new AC unit or thinking about upgrading yours? I know I have. Hey, it's Jody Ayler from my friends at Plum Smart. Beat the heat this summer with a brand new efficient AC unit with my friends at Plum Smart. Not only are they about half the prices of the other guys, they're going to throw in a free green water purifier installed with every new AC unit. That's a $1,200 value. Call my friends at Plum Smart today. 480-654-8865. Or it's just plumsmart.com, because plumbers and AC guys charge too much.
The double steak grilled cheese burrito is now at Taco Bell. 2 servings of grilled marinated steak and a melty 3-cheese layer inside, plus grilled bubbly cheese on the outside. At participating Taco Bell stores for a limited time only while supplies last. Contact local stores for prices, hours, and participation which vary. Tax extra.
Phase 1, clear takeoff.
Since 1995, the Global Positioning System, or GPS, developed by the U.S. military,
Here we go.
has been operational for civilian use.
Please proceed to the highlight map.
Today, the men and women of the Air Force Reserve continue their vital mission, guiding you safely on your way while protecting the freedoms we all enjoy. The United States Air Force Reserve, guiding and protecting America.
Broadcasting from the Superbook.com studio. Superbook Sports, now live. This is KGME Phoenix, KESC HD2 Phoenix, an iHeart radio station. Available everywhere on our free iHeart radio app. #1 for music, radio, and podcasts, all in one. Here's what's trending on Fox Sports 910.
Sports Illustrated reports that Cardinals granted teams permission to speak with wide receiver DeAndre Hopkins to facilitate a trade. Sun center DeAndre Ayton could make his return against the Jazz tonight. He's listed as probable on the injury report with a right hip condition.
You're all good.
He's missed the last 4 games. Arizona men's hoops are finalizing a 2023 game versus Alabama. That'll be at the Footprint Center on December 20th. That'll be
From all your emails, Rock.
Down as the final games play out today and tomorrow. For the Diamondbacks, they will take on the Guardians over these final 2 games. I'm Frank Garrity.
I'm going to do like 10 tougher stuff you guys have today, but
This is the Parker and Sons Weather Center.
But I'll be sure he doesn't screw it up.
Call Parker.
I'm Celeste Rodriguez.
So,
with
Rock, so I'm trying to walk him through the
Calling all sports with Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B. Proudly sponsored by On Air Sports Marketing.
That's true.
And is powered by the injury attorneys Lerner and Rowe. In a wreck and need a check? Make one call. That's all. 602-977-1900. And always online at lernerandrowe.com. Now time for Calling All Sports with Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B. On Fox Sports.
Are you guys not?
We are making progress. It's only taken 4 weeks. But Jimmy B with his new computer is on Twitter. Hallelujah. 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 Oh, man, it's work in progress. It's going to be a good show today. I feel it. I think we're going to get a few drops, but we're going to have some fun as we are out here at the CAZ Sportsbook in Casino, Arizona, our home this Saturday and Monday for the Final Four, as we'll be giving away the cash just for watching the 2 games on Saturday and on Monday. We're going to have Fat Lever with us. Looking forward to having him with us. Scotty Williams, both of them played in the NBA for many years. Can't wait to talk to them about their days playing with Michael Jordan. Speaking of Michael Jordan, we're going to hear from Charles Barkley if you had a chance to watch the 60 Minutes yesterday. We got a lot of sound we're going to bring back for that as well. But let's get to the big story, which has to do with the Suns as well as March Madness.
Time for the top local and national stories of the hour. Powered by the Sportsbook at CAZ Sports Bar in Casino, Arizona. Bet big on your favorite teams and players in an environment that's as exciting as the game you're watching. There's no better place in the Valley to get in on the action. The Sportsbook at CAZ Sports Bar. Now, guys, what's your top story this hour?
3-point game. Clock ticks. And that's it! The Owls of Florida Atlantic. They are headed to the Final Four. It's the final countdown. Miami, and this thing's winding down. What a comeback. It's the biggest win in Hurricane Hoops history. Miami heading to the Final Four for the first time. The final countdown. And it's over. For the first time in school history, San Diego State is going to the Final Four. Final countdown. Dan Hurley is taking his UConn team to the 6th Final Four.
You're hot.
Of the Connecticut Huskies. This was a complete demolition. And there's no other team going to the Final Four than UConn.
And it's set, the Final Four of the NCAA tournament. As you just heard, the 5th-seeded San Diego State. They edged the 6th-seeded Creighton by 1. They emerge as the winner in the South region as the Aztecs are set to meet 9th-seeded Florida Atlantic in their first-ever Final Four. And then the 5th-seeded Miami, they punched their ticket to Houston as they storm back to defeat the number 2-seeded Texas. They beat them by 7, 88-81 in the Midwest region. And then the Hurricanes, they're also making their Final Four debut as they'll square off with 4th-seeded UConn as the Huskies are the highest remaining seed left as none of the top 3 seeds made the Final Four for the first time in tournament history.
Who would have thought 3 of the Final Four teams have never been to the tournament? I had thought for sure Miami had, but you look back and said they were final Elite 8 last year. UConn, obviously, but why would San Diego State, why wouldn't they make the Final Four? And I've been voting them in or picking them the last, 10 years to always make the Final Four. I don't pick them this year, make the Final Four, and they go in, and Florida Atlantic had no clue. I mean, big record, scoring a lot of points. Big physical team, no idea. But and then there's UConn, steady as usual, going right to the Final Four.
I watched a couple of Florida Atlantic games on TV, and by watching them, I could tell they were a really good basketball team, but I didn't think they were a Final Four basketball
But not in that
team.
division, Jim. You didn't think with the competition
Correct.
they had.
Yes.
But they were tenacious.
They just destroyed a lot of teams.
Oh, my God. Could they get a few more offensive rebounds versus my Wildcats the other day? They only out-rebounded us by 22, and they had 14 offensive rebounds. I'm like, guys, anybody get a rebound, get the ball out of their hands.
That is
crying out loud.
is one of the greatest telling stats of the tournament, what Manuch just referenced. Because I was going to bring it up. 22 rebounds more than K-State.
Well, and FAU had 22 turnovers.
Yeah.
Kansas State didn't turn the ball over that much either, which is crazy to me. I guess Kansas State couldn't get points off of those turnovers.
But Noel had the most turnovers he's had. I think he had five or seven, the most he's had in the tournament, because I felt he was trying to do too much in that game. But, hey, hats off to FAU and to being there. Now maybe the new darling of the Final Four.
You know, I'm excited. This is a great march. It's outstanding. And what I thought was pretty interesting is you talk about parity. Parity ruled when all we talk about is NIL and transfer portal and coaches, executives. They all predicted that the transfer rules, the NIL deals would increase the gaps between the programs. Well, here we are. We look at this year's Final Four slate. It's a different story. Parity does count, but when you look at San Diego State, Florida Atlantic, Miami, maybe UConn's the only one, they've all made history because, no top 3 seeds, and these teams didn't have these transfers. These schools didn't have these big transfers, whereas most of these studs that play at a Florida Atlantic would normally leave to a Duke or a North Carolina or someone like that, or even San Diego State. And you look, a lot of these guys are juniors and seniors.
Well, that's the key right there.
They didn't transfer.
Experience, a lot of them didn't transfer out. They got a few that came in transfer-wise. But I think with Larinaga, with Miami, I didn't realize he'd been there, 15,
He's
16
been there a long time.
A long time.
And he was the guy who took George Mason
Yeah,
to the Final
You
Four.
forget about that.
No, you don't.
Well, I did.
Nobody did. They beat that up all weekend long.
Well, I mean, until they mention all that. But, you look at this and you go, okay, all the above San Diego State, and to see these guys and the way they won the game. But UConn the second half, just, okay, enough's enough. And Timmy got a little foul trouble early on, like our guy Johnson did early on in that FAU game. And when you sit your best guys, or have to sit your best guys, or they have to play very cautious, you kind of just take them out of their game. But I got to commend our cats for at least hanging around and still having a shot at the very end.
With these 4 teams in, the Final Four ticket prices have plummeted. There was a chance that you're going to see Houston there. You're going to see Texas there. They both get knocked out. The secondary market has just torpedoed, and the average ticket price has dropped over $100 since Miami beat Texas on Sunday. There are tickets now. Get in. The Houston Chronicle this morning was reporting that you could get into the championship game as low as $75.
Wow, that's amazing.
Wow,
that's amazing.
I mean, it would have been huge for Houston. I mean, I will make the case that the game will not sell out. The championship game will not sell out. They will report it being sold out.
Yes.
But how do you fill Reliant Stadium?
What's it seat? 65
at least.
Yeah.
Oh, I would say. Yeah.
I can't. I mean, how are you going to fill that?
Yeah,
let's
start giving all the boys and girls club in the area away.
I mean, we all have our predictions. I mean, it seems like most people are leaning towards UConn winning it all.
Right.
But I don't know how much a draw FAU, UConn, or San Diego State, UConn. I mean, I'm not saying, or even if it's Miami, FAU, or Miami, San Diego State. Oh, man.
Well, there's the biggest name, period, is Miami, UConn, obviously. And then SDSU.
But that knocks off. I'm not worried about Saturday. I'm worried about the championship game, the Super Bowl college basketball.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, and could you imagine eyeballs on the TV Monday if it's a FAU taking on UConn?
You're gonna check
or FAU in Miami. 2 Florida schools going at. Could you imagine? I mean, the improbability of these two playing each other in Houston. That have never been there. They're from Florida, and they're going to take each other on. Talk about the recruiting pipeline. Whoever wins that game gets the upper hand in that Florida area. There's a lot of dudes that come out of there. And I don't know. You kind of the wishful thinking. I would hope would be FAU and Miami.
Suns tonight are in Utah, and we will see the return of DeAndre Ayton, which will be nice. We've been waiting for his return.
3
It
minutes.
feels like a good week for the Phoenix Suns with DeAndre coming back today. It looks as though, at least being reported, possibly we'll see Kevin Durant back on Wednesday as they face Minnesota at Footprint. Things are starting to come together. You got to give this team some credit. It's surprising that they have won 2 of 8, and they're still in fourth spot.
Did you take a look at what the other teams did, though? Most of those teams played 500 basketball while this was going on, or worse. And the West right now, it's why Lions eat their young. They're just beating up on each other, and so nobody really gained any ground, with the exception of Dallas, and that Kyrie Irving thing is just a disaster. And right now, if the playoffs were held today, Dallas they would be out.
Yeah.
They're not even in the play-in.
For Utah tonight, they have been struggling as of late. Tonight, Sexton's out, Gay's out, Markkanen is
2 minutes.
is out, Clarkson's out. The Suns are a 6.5-point favorite in Utah. I would have not looked at the schedule even a month ago and said that the Suns would have been favored in this game if everyone was healthy.
And again, timing is everything. Jim, you talk about those teams playing 500. Suns, hopefully,
Utah's lost 3 straight.
Yep. 3 straight.
Timing. Yep.
So timing is everything. So hopefully, DA does play tonight. The probable thing will be removed. Probably game time decision. Then hopefully KD back against the T-Wolves on Wednesday, and then you got Denver on Friday and OKC on Sunday. Okay, you got 8 games left. If those guys play 4 or 5 of those and get back in sync, the bench gets back in sync, scoring 53 points against the 76ers, can close out a game like they did in the fourth quarter against the 76ers. All right, hold that 4th spot. Here we go.
Snakes tonight, they will host the Guardians tonight and tomorrow at Chase Field. Night game tonight. They'll wrap up their spring play as opening day is Thursday in Los Angeles.
1 minute.
What a week this is.
you got Final Four week. You got that conversation. You're a week away from the Masters, so you're already kind of talking about that a little bit. And then you got opening day on Thursday with the Diamondbacks. NFL owners meetings are underway here in Phoenix over, I believe, at the Biltmore.
Yes.
They started yesterday. They'll run through Wednesday, and there are several new rules up for debate, as well as the impending decision on the extension of Roger Goodell as the commissioner. And then the Yotes, latest skid is up to 4 in a row. Applause. They lost to the Avalanche last night.
Shootout.
Yeah, but Clayton Keller, you'll hear about what he did coming up in just a few minutes as the Yotes host Edmonton tonight at Mullet. So, hey, honestly, gang, if you've been listening to us, we're looking for your support. Come on out and join us this Saturday or Monday here in the CAZ Sportsbook at Casino Arizona. We'll be joined by 12-year NBA veteran and ASU standout Pat Lever, plus 3-time NBA champion North Carolina Tar Heel and color analyst for GCU Lopes, Scott Williams. They will join us for a special Q&A between both games on Saturday. You'll win cash during the games, both on Saturday and on Monday. We're doing props and squares. It's all free. First game starts at 3 o'clock, just after 3. If you need some details, go to rockandmanuch.com. So FAU San Diego State at 3:09, followed by UConn Miami at 5:49. We're going to take you back this weekend for our Valley Chevy Dealers Plays of the Weekend. Just getting started here from the CAZ Sportsbook. It's Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B, Fox Sports 910.
The Twin Peaks Fan Pick'em is back. Win 910 on 910 Bracket Challenge presented by Dos Equis. Win man cards after every round. Win the entire bracket and take home a $910 man card. Plus your height in Dos Equis. Head to fanpick'em.com.
Win cash by watching the NCAA Championship game at the CAZ Sports Bar in Casino, Arizona with Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B.
Play their free props and squares contests.
That's Championship Monday with the guys at the CAZ Sports Bar in Casino, Arizona.
Make the right choice, Right Toyota in North Scottsdale. There are so many dealers to choose from, but there's only one that truly cares about the people here in Arizona. Right Toyota is family owned. They are not some huge corporation led by a bunch of bean counters that are all just concerned with the bottom line. The family at Right Toyota invests in the community and local charities. Proceeds from every car sold goes directly back to the people in need. Right Toyota is even dog friendly. If you just want to shop from home, log on to righttoyota.com for their full inventory of new and pre-owned vehicles. That's right, the right place, the right selection, the right people. Right Toyota on Frank Lloyd Wright Boulevard in Scottsdale and online at righttoyota.com.
Well, you won't go wrong. I wouldn't have gone wrong. At Wright Toyota, well, you won't go wrong. I wouldn't have gone wrong. At Wright Toyota, well, you won't go wrong. I wouldn't have gone wrong.
March is here. Be sure to head to fanpick'em.com to fill out your bracket and watch all the games at any of the 4 Twin Peaks locations. Details can be found at rockandmanuch.com. Once again, that's rockandmanuch.com.
Springtime, the best time of the year here in sunny Arizona. Spring training, spring break, and of course, Duke's on Miller and McDowell. Enjoy this weather on one of their 3 spacious patios. One is smoke-free. Duke's, right on the Greenbelt at Miller and McDowell, has awesome food, great drink specials, and is totally dog-friendly. Meet up with your friends at Duke's for spring training.
Where? Miller and McDowell, Scottsdale.
Now open in Rocky Point.
Mr. Clean, Mr. Clean.
Of course I use Mr. Clean Magic Eraser to clean tough messes off my stovetop and bathtub. But then I discovered I can also use it to easily clean my patio furniture and even my shoes. I'm hooked.
And when wipes won't cut it, I use Magic Eraser Sheets. They're thin and flexible erasers, perfect for everyday messes, like gunk on my counters and sinks. They really are magical.
The reviews are in. Mr. Clean Magic Eraser and Sheets make cleaning look easy.
Back to Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B, Broadcasting live from the CAZ Sportsbook in Casino, Arizona. The Sportsbook at CAZ Sports Bar in Casino, Arizona is a sports fan's paradise. You are locked in to Fox Sports 910, live from CAZ Sportsbook in Casino, Arizona. Time for the Valley Chevy dealers' top plays of the week.
Dancing and looking and directing traffic, and look at the length of this play. Murray to the 10, to the 5, and he's going to convert it. That's unbelievable.
Find new roads at your local Chevy dealer.
Guys are hot.
A test drive by heading to valleychevy.com. Now today's top plays on Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B on Fox Sports 910.
We got a few for you today as we're out here at the CAZ Sportsbook in Casino, Arizona. Be here till 4 o'clock here every Monday. Roc, Manuch, Jimmy B, got Jax, Ben, and Connor.
That's it.
Connor back there at
yep.
the controls.
All right. All right.
Co-piloting today.
Got it. We're also on YouTube, Twitter, and Facebook. You can find us there, as well as on the iHeartRadio app and on 99.9 HD2 on FM. That's what I have it set in my car. So we're in FM. You can check that out. So here's the final call of the Florida Atlantic Kansas State game. Sorry, Manuch.
It's all right.
And
take the good with the bad.
Yeah.
What a lot of people don't know is the power in the FAU broadcast went out. And we'll tell you what happened as their play-by-play guy was scrambling. But here is the final call, and then I'll give you a little
background
on what happened.
Recession for a second. Good as well. Kansas State doesn't have any timeouts. The inbound from Sills. Here comes Noel up the near side, left front court. 3 seconds now, 2. Noel throws him Masood. High right. It's stripped away by Davis. He stole it. Florida Atlantic is going to the Final Four. One of the most improbable stories in college basketball history has just played out in New York City. Houston, you have a problem. Florida Atlantic is coming to town looking for a trophy. Florida Atlantic 79, Kansas State 76. FAU is going to the Final Four.
How cool is that? Ken LaFlicka, he's the play-by-play man for FAU Radio Network. Now, amazingly, listening to that in the final seconds, there's no sign that anything was different than normal. But that was not the case. The power in the FAU broadcast went out. He was scrambling, and he had to do a little improvisation. Yeah, thank you. Easy for me to say. The way to kind of get the broadcast back up and running. So here he is discussing this. He was interviewed by Fox Sports Radio right after on how that hectic final minute went down.
Ken LaFlicka, 6:40 a.m., Fox Sports Radio. I was 2 seats away from you. I felt awful. Power went out. This is the call of your life. FAU going to the Final Four. How did you handle not knowing if you'd be able to make the call because you were gone for, 30 seconds or so?
30 seconds or so. So all of the Ethernet along this front row here at Madison Square Garden went out with 18 and 6/10 seconds left. And we actually got saved by a Kansas State layup and a timeout called by Jerome Tang that gave me time to scramble. And you saw me, Andy. It was getting a little rough. Life's dream is crumbling before me. I grabbed from that second table an Ethernet cord, plug it into my broadcast equipment. One of my teammates from ESPN West Palm in West Palm Beach sitting next to me held the Comrex unit while I called the final 15 seconds of the game, and the day was saved.
So how do you feel about your call?
Oh, I loved it. Come on, Andy.
What did you say? You got to remember it.
I said, Houston, you have a problem. Florida Atlantic's coming to win a championship.
How great is that? The FAU broadcast goes out, and there you hear
talk about
their
quick
play-by-play man, Ken LaFlicka, and or LaFicka, and there you go. Great call there at the end for FAU and the Owls heading to Houston.
It just goes down. You're calling the play of your life.
It's happened to me.
Oh,
they have the exact same equipment we are using right here at CAZ Sportsbook. It's the same one. But how about that? Houston, you have a problem. Florida Atlantic is coming to win a championship, or along those lines.
Great call. It was a very, very good call. And my Cats, I'm still thinking why Noel passed that ball up, take it down, hoist a three. I don't care if you got three guys, but Muhammad, you catch the ball, go up with it, Jimmy.
Shoot it.
You can't. Just take it and shoot it. He had, I think, 1/10 of a second to catch and at least get up a 35-footer. But hey, hats off to FAU. They earned it. They were physical. They were dominant, and they made the shots when they had to.
They're a fun team to watch. They really are. In fact, to be honest with you, all of these teams are highly entertaining that are in the Final Four. UConn, I just have a feeling, is going to be dominant just because of their size and experience. But, hey, look, we didn't expect – a lot of people thought UConn could be there, but nobody had Florida Atlantic, Miami, who does have some really good athletes, and San Diego State to be in the Final Four.
Some other sound from yesterday, the final calls of the other 3 games. We'll just fire those off, guys. Just go back to back to back on those, and then we'll have our honorable mention.
For the first time in school history, San Diego State is going to the Final Four. A heartbreaking loss for Creighton. And it's Aztec madness. 57-56. Let's see performance. It's the biggest win in Hurricane Hoops history. Miami heading to the Final Four for the first time. This was a complete demolition. And there's no other team going to the Final Four than UConn.
There you have it, the other 3 games. We've got a lot to get into when it comes to those games. We'll talk about them all week. We got a few guests later in the program. Honorable mention, we'll keep it home as Clayton Keller scored to extend his point streak to 12 games as he surpassed Shane Doan and Jeremy Roenick for the longest run by a Coyotes player since the franchise came to Arizona. It was his 36th of the year, and he is now right there, 80 points on the season. How about that? Here's how it all went down as the Yotes lost, but they forced an overtime.
Band on it. Moved along and a goal! Clayton Keller, point number 80, and goal number 36. What a goal! How about this spinorama? How you doing?
So the Yotes and Keller gets 80 points on the season right now. He's second Coyote to hit that benchmark after Keith Kachuk in 96-97 at 86 points. So he has 8 more games to catch Keith Kachuk. So there's our honorable mention as we get you through today's sounds and plays of the night, brought to you by Valley Chevy Dealers. Your Valley Chevy Dealers serving the Valley for over 80 years. You got to check out the new Chevy Trailblazer, perfect for whatever you are up to or wherever you're off to. It's never too late to the show. Find new roads at your local Chevy dealer. Head to valleychevy.com.
You know, some of the things when you hear those highlights, college basketball, for me, it's so much fun to watch these NCAAs and to see teams come out of nowhere. But then you watch and the coaching for these guys. I mean, you look at FAU. I mean, they went 4 or 5 guys deep on the bench. San Diego State, the same one. That San Diego State game, first one to 60 wins, maybe. You looked at that first half, you saw a good old-fashioned defense, rebounding, cold shooting basketball game.
I saw a
from
rock
circa
fight.
1975 without the shot clock.
Yeah, it was a rock fight. I mean, that's what it was. Look, I loved all the games with the exception, of course, of the Gonzaga-Utah game. I was highly disappointed that Drew Timme got in early foul trouble and then 15 seconds into the second half,
1 minute,
picks up his third, and then it was all the Gonzaga was done. There was no reason for them to even be in the game, and UConn took big-time advantage and eliminated them easily.
They beat them big. They beat them really
Well, they
big.
were 2 for 20 from three-point
Yeah,
land.
it was terrible.
Yeah, it's not a typical game.
No.
If they played again, it would be a little bit different.
Yeah,
I think.
I agree.
Hey, join us tomorrow, El Bandito Tequila Tuesday at Barrio Queen. We'll be live from 1 to 4 at the Barrio Queen at Tempe Marketplace. We were there last week. We'll be back there this week. They said, hey, can you guys come back? We're like, sure.
Absolutely.
We encourage you to stop by and have some incredible authentic Mexican food and try the new El Bandito Yankee Tequila. And we will be giving away, they will be giving away a pair of Suns tickets for Wednesday. So you're going to have to tune in tomorrow for your chance to win those tickets. Thanks to our friends at El Bandito Tequila Yankee. And we will do that tomorrow at Barrio Queen in Tempe Marketplace. So we've been talking about the Final Four is set. We're going to go back to the weekend and go through the games with former NAU head coach Mike Adris on how UConn, FAU, Miami, and San Diego State will match up. And I'd like to get his take on the last play of the San Diego State-Creighton game. Should they have called that foul or not? That seems to be the talk today. That's coming up as we're coming to you live from the CAZ Sportsbook in Casino, Arizona, our home for the Final Four in the NCAA Championship Saturday and Monday. This is Fox Sports 9.
This is what's trending on Fox Sports 910 Phoenix.
Listed as probable on the injury report for tonight, Sun center DeAndre Ayton. He could make his return against the Jazz. He's been out the last 4 games with that right hip contusion. Arizona men's hoops looking to finalize a 2023 game against Alabama. It'll be at the Footprint Center on December 20th. Sports Illustrated reporting the Cardinals granted teams permission to speak with wide receiver DeAndre Hopkins to facilitate a trade. Another year of the Cactus League winding down. The final games are playing out today and tomorrow. For the Diamondbacks, that means a pair of games against the Guardians. I'm Frank Arity on Fox Sports 910, available everywhere on the free iHeartRadio app.
Hey, it's Gross. Join me, Bauer, and Jackson every Saturday from 11 to 1 live from the Sportsbook at the CAZ Sports Bar at Casino, Arizona for Take the Points. Powered by the Sportsbook at CAZ Sports Bar.
Home shopping? You'll need a pre-approval letter. Call GC Global Capital, and you can get pre-approved in minutes. Call 480-397-9300. Free second opinions and comparisons. GC Global Capital is an Arizona licensed mortgage broker. NMLS 1091187. License MB 0924983. An equal opportunity lender.
Rock for RightToyota.com. At Right Toyota, they'd like you to get to know them. Their goal is to make buying your next vehicle the kind of experience that earns your recommendation to family and friends. They invite you to use all of their innovative web tools on RightToyota.com. So if you're looking for a new or pre-owned Toyota, head to their interactive website at RightToyota.com. The right price, the right selection, all at RightToyota.com.
Whether it's beer and wings with the guys or a steak or ribs with that special someone, Tavern Grill Scottsdale is the place to be. Tavern Grill is now the home of Huss Brewing Company's Roc and Manuch Lager. Tavern Grill Scottsdale at 8880 East Via Linda.
Golfers, you won't want to miss the Vans Golf Shop's Wilson Golf Fitting event happening this week. This big event is your chance to check out the new Wilson Dynapower woods and irons. Come meet with the Wilson Golf team and get custom fit for the new Dynapower woods and irons. Schedule your custom fitting appointment online at Vans Golf Shops today. Don't miss it. It's happening this week. Vans Golf Shops, home of the 90-day satisfaction guarantee, unmatched expertise, unmatched service.
Looking for a change in your career? All City Towing is searching for motivated teammates to join their team. Current openings now available in customer service, tow truck operators, yard management, facilities maintenance, and dispatch. Apply online at allcitytowing.com/careers or call 480-833-7278.
I'm attorney Kevin Rowe. Have you been charged with a crime you didn't commit? It happens more than you think. When your liberty is on the line, you need an experienced attorney that will aggressively fight for you. Lerner & Rowe Law Group handles DUI and all other criminal charges. And with our affordable payment plans, it's easier than you think to get the defense you need. If the police made a mistake, call Lerner & Rowe today. We're available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week to take your call.
Lerner & Rowe is the way to go. Call 977-1900.
Hey, sports fans, celebrate every big game with El Bandito Yankee, an ultra-premium tequila made from 100% Blue Weber agave in the highlands of Jalisco. Their certified additive-free Blanco and Reposado features a unique oxygenation process for a rich smoothness without that tequila burn. It's why they won platinum and gold medals and are now listed as one of the world's top tequilas by Rolling Stone. Head over to your local store, favorite bar, or restaurant at all 7 Barrio Queen locations. Go to elbanditoyankee.com and break out the Bandito with the official tequila of game day.
Intelligence runs in the family. Innovation runs in the family. Extraordinary runs in the family. The Mercedes-Benz range of SUVs. Every member is waiting to impress. Learn more at MBUSA.com.
Back
to Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B, broadcasting live from the CAZ Sportsbook in Casino, Arizona. The Sportsbook at CAZ Sports Bar in Casino, Arizona is a sports fan's paradise. You are locked in to Fox Sports 910, live from CAZ Sports.
Butler, get it in. A Roc hands it to Trammell. 3 seconds, 2 seconds. Trammell drives. He's fouled. Darion Trammell will go to the free throw line.
It's all about getting the turn towards the basket. Played it perfectly from a timing perspective. Let's see if there's a hit. Left arm is down low. He didn't hit him with the right arm. The left arm might be on the hip. Let's take another look. See that left hand on the hip? I'm a big believer, Ian, in that if the offensive guy makes a play at the end of the game,
10 seconds.
you have to call it. Now, some people it may not be much of a foul. But does it affect the offensive guy's motion to the basket and getting a shot off?
A lot of controversy at the end of the San Diego State-Creighton game with that go-ahead free throw. That courtesy of CBS. Mike Adrius, former NAU basketball coach, now joins us here on Fox Sports 910. Coach, what do you think? Should you call that foul or not?
You know what? And I hope my good friend down in the valley, Marla Denham, is listening to the broadcast right now, because she used to be the head of officials when I was in the Big Sky Conference. And she was kind enough one year when they had all their meetings to invite me to speak to a group of officials. And it was just a wonderful thing for me as a young coach to sit down and listen to the game from officials' perspective. And that guy, Gene, I don't know what his last name that's on TV, the ex-official, does a nice job of explaining it during the broadcast. And I'll tell you what, when I watched it happen, I was happy to see what happened. Not because I was cheering for San Diego State, but because it was a foul. And I can't tell you how many times officials, coaches will say, oh, he swallowed his whistle, right? He didn't make the call. And you put a hand on a guy's hip like that, that causes them to shift a little bit, and it can alter their shot. And I know Charles Barkley went on not liking it because, he thinks players should determine ball games, and I respect Charles a great deal too, but I really thought that the officials made the right call. That guy who made that call was the right call. And then the following call to check the time. I mean, I was sitting there going, that clock should have started already. I'm playing official just like everybody else was. They show you enough replays that why not? Well, we could do the same thing they're doing live, at the ball game. So kudos to that crew. I think they got it 100% correct. Both calls, the foul call and the call at the end of the game. And, I understand Creighton's viewpoint. I've been there. I've experienced that side of the equation too. But it was the right thing in my mind. And I think most of your listeners probably agree with that.
Coach, let me follow up then with what you just stated. And I do agree with your assessment of that call. However, what the big topic of conversation was that those officials throughout the game were letting that hand check call just kind of slide by. They weren't really enforcing that throughout the game. So my question then is, you as a former coach, when you see that happening and they aren't enforcing it, and then all of a sudden on that play they do enforce it, how does that set you up then as a coach who's been in that position before?
Well, Jimmy B, it's great to hear your voice, by the way, today, and thanks for having me on again.
What are you thanking him for? He's got no. Hey, wait. He's got no say in who comes on the show. Why are you thanking Jimmy B?
and Jimmy B's only been around for 2 months.
Yeah, he's a rookie, man. Was he paying you on the side?
He's like an intern.
Yeah, he's still syllabus week.
He's a rookie. Jimmy B, I take it all back. I got to go where my friends
We're good, Coach. We're good.
Okay. So speaking of bread getting buttered, yeah, I get what you're saying. The officials, you hope they're consistent throughout. Some games they get a little bit more physical. I don't know. Did you think that they weren't calling that the whole game? I can't say I was watching the entire game commenting about, the official missed this or the official missed that. I just know that in that particular play, they got it right. Now, did they get it wrong in previous plays? Well, come on. They never, hit 1,000%, during a ball game. There's too many moving pieces going on. They're not in position as like they need to be every single time. Sometimes it looks like a foul and they call a foul when you can see on the replay that there was no foul on that play, So when you get to slow the replay down to milliseconds and see it that way, sure. Don't we do that every time watching an NFL game or a Major League Baseball game as well, where we go, he got the call wrong, of course. But when that thing's happening in live motion, it's, you got to compliment those guys. I mean, first of all, that crew didn't get to that game because they're lower tier officials, right? They're getting evaluated each and every day throughout the season to get nominated, to be in the postseason, and then to advance to where they got to. So, I know it sounds crazy. What have I gotten soft in my old age on the complimenting officials? You know what? The NABC made me turn in my card here. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know. It certainly did bring a lot of You hate seeing games decided that way. If a guy hits a half-court shot, we're happier about that because you can tell if it went before the buzzer or not. And when a call that can determine the outcome goes, then of course we get to dissect it and talk about it for 3 hours the next day, fellas. Isn't this great?
And Coach, I know from my K-State Cats, Johnson got in foul trouble early. I thought they were legitimate fouls, but you just got to play at the hand you're dealt. You look at Drew Timme getting those early fouls, but see, in our case, we still had a shot, literally a shot at the very end of that game. And I think that's just part of the game. It might come in a little tighter with the Elite Eight or the Final Four, the final game, but I think most coaches like Tang is that's just the way it played out, and it still kept us in the game. I think for us, it was just getting out-rebounded by 22 and getting offensive rebounds to 14 to there, but we still had a legitimate shot to at least tie that game.
And that's all you ask for.
Yeah.
I mean, if you ask most coaches, if I'm going to have a shot to win this game in the final couple minutes, we'd fast forward to that point in the game and play. I mean, because we practice that way too, right? You practice those final minutes, special situations over again. I do want to say one thing.
3 minutes.
Coach Tang, right? We talked about him before. He's a great guy. I don't know if you guys reported this or if it's actually been true. I've just heard it from some friends that were really impressed that he personally went into the FAU locker room afterwards to compliment them on how well they executed and played and wish them good luck moving forward. And
classy,
you gotta
very classy.
love that kind of sportsmanship. Don't you appreciate that when we hear stories like that?
Yeah, they don't happen very often, and I'm glad that happened. I mean, you occasionally hear that. You hear more in college, which is great. You never hear it in the NFL, which would be nice to hear once in a while. Well, Coach, we're going to catch up with you later in the week and kind of break down the Final Four. So thank you so much for some time today. We can't wait to keep this ball rolling, and we'll make sure that Jimmy B and you guys hook up later and have lunch and dinner.
2 minutes.
Talk about coming on the show again.
Hey, guys, who's Jimmy B? I don't even know
Yes.
who that is.
How did I know if that was going to change? Good stuff.
Jimmy who?
Thank you, Coach. Appreciate it. That's Mike Aegis joining us. Former NAU basketball coach, our college basketball insider. He is driven by All City Towing. As if you're looking for a new career, All City Towing, they got multiple full-time positions, incredible benefits, a 401k program with a generous company match. You can apply online at allcitytowing.com. Just search careers. That's allcitytowing.com. Search careers. So good stuff there. So Jimmy, I didn't know you and Mike are close.
You might have called a couple of NAU games,
He's
huh?
been coming on our show for 18 years.
Yeah.
I did call, and I don't remember the years that he was coaching. Manuch, you could probably refresh my memory, but I have called a couple of NAU basketball games. I called them one time against Boise State.
1 minute.
And I called them one time, I remember this, against Pepperdine. I think those are the only two that pop out at me right now.
You know, and one thing we failed to mention is the Creighton head coach was very good about that last call. Hey, look, that happens. That wasn't the call where we could have won that game. And I thought he pretty much swallowed hard and did say he didn't want to get into it. And very, very tough. But it was a foul. They had opportunities and chances. And you look at a lot of the teams, maybe excited for the UConn game, that there was chances for those teams to pull ahead and get the lead.
Hey, since your bracket is busted, we did the full bracket, we did the 16-team. Now we're doing the final 4-team bracket contest. You can win a $100 Twin Peaks man card and your height in Dos Equis. You can sign up right now at fanpick'em.com. That's fanpick'em.com. Well, the NFL world reacts to Lamar Jackson and some news from the New York Jets. That's next as Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B continues from the CAZ Sports.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is The Odd Couple. Mike check. With Chris Broussard and Rob Parker.
Rick Pitino hired to be the head coach of the St. John's basketball program, and your panties are in a bunch. They are, Chris. I'm officially renaming St. John's University to Shame Johns.
With Chris Broussard and Rob Parker. Today at 4, tell your smart speaker to play Fox Sports 910.
Any car dealer in Arizona can compete on price. That's what dealers do. But not many dealers can compete on customer satisfaction. Like Wright Toyota. Make the right choice. Wright Toyota in Scottsdale. Just off the 101 on Frank Lloyd Wright Boulevard. And online at wrighttoyota.com.
We're your neighbors. You should stop by for a visit. We're Casino Arizona. Come on in. Our slots are spinning, our dealers are dealing, and everyone's yelling bingo. Isn't it about time you see your friends again? So stop by to say hello. Stay a while. Relax. Enjoy yourself. We'd love to see you again. Hey, this place was made to entertain. We're your Casino, Arizona.
Win your height in Dos Equis. Head to fanpick'em.com to fill out your Twin Peaks Win 910 on 910 Bracket Challenge. It's never too late. Please, you can win Twin Peaks man cards after every round. That's fanpick'em.com.
Do you need a new AC unit or thinking about upgrading yours? I know I have. Hey, it's Jody.
Hey, you guys there?
Friends at Plum Smart. Beat the heat this summer with a
I'm going to come back with Rocky Like a Hurricane, and I'll play the liners, all right?
Not only are they about half the prices of the other guys, they're going to throw in a free green water purifier installed with every new AC unit. That's a $1,200 value. Call my friends at Plum Smart today. 480-654-8865. Or it's just plumsmart.com because plumbers and AC guys charge too much.
Progressive protects more than just your home and car. You could save when you bundle your motorcycles, ATVs, boats, and RVs. Doesn't that sound good? Like the sound of your boat cruising along the Intercoastal. And there's the sound of the prop hitting a really big rock. And now the sound of waves.
Ross, do you have your police squad already?
But you know what does sound good? You're covered with Progressive. So bundle all your vehicles in home.
All right, so we're not going to use it.
Save with the multi-policy discount. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers.
The Drive with Jody Ayler. Now in mornings. Tomorrow from 6 to 10 on Fox Sports 910. Back to Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B. Broadcasting live from the CAZ Sportsbook in Casino, Arizona. The Sportsbook at CAZ Sports Bar in Casino, Arizona is a sports fan's paradise.
Guys are hot.
You are locked in to Fox Sports 910. Live from CAZ Sportsbook in Casino, Arizona.
Little Scorpions, 39 years ago today, 1984, they released this album, Love at First Sting. Rock You Like a Hurricane, Still Loving You, and Big City Nights. And you're saying, why the hell are you playing this rock? We don't care about the Scorpions in 1984. Well, I do. Well, I do because this was the first concert I ever went to.
Wow. Is it really?
As I had Bon Jovi open for the Scorpions at the Spectrum in Philadelphia.
Amazing.
In 1984. I was, a sophomore? And
And
I was like finally allowed to go to a concert. I can't remember if my parents drove me over to Philadelphia and dropped me off. and made sure that I wasn't smoking anything or drinking anything underage. But that was the first concert.
You were a sophomore. Their first concert. Mine, I was a sophomore. My first concert was this group called Blue Oyster Cult, who opened for REO Speedwagon, who opened up for a group called the Doobie Brothers.
Nice. That's good.
Outside Diablo Stadium, and my good buddy Vic Spichelli, we take our bean bags out there, and you get your refreshments on the outfield right there. I'm like, wow.
You're like,
so is that what that smells like?
It's for, and I'm assuming, let me guess, Beatles? Your first concert?
Actually, no. My first concert was Elvis. And my dad
Shut
took
the front door.
Serious.
Really?
In Seattle. Don't you remember he did a movie? It happened at the World's Fair in 1960 in Seattle. And my dad took me. I was like a little kid. And
Same height?
He still went. No, I was shorter then. I'm much
What
taller
year,
now.
Jimmy? What year?
I told you, 1960.
Pay attention, man.
I was dumbfounded. Jimmy had actually been to a concert growing up.
Jimmy, no. I don't take no, Manuch. No. Jimmy and I, if Jimmy was my age back in the day, we would be running together. We'd be golfing, boozing, having some fun. Absolutely. All right, just for the heck of it, just because we brought this up, Jax, your first concert you've ever been to, and Ben and Connor, I need yours too.
I went to Jonas Brothers with Jordan Sparks back in the day at a backstage pass. Yeah.
Okay, that's your first.
Phenomenal.
Right. Ben, how about you?
My first concert was Weird Al Yankovic in the second grade.
You know, that explains everything. Because Weird Al is not funny. No, Ben is not funny.
No.
So this is how it all started. He went to that concert.
And it's great because Rock hates fun. Rock hates fun, so it's fun.
No, boy, you fun. Dude, if I put my notes together, what I did this weekend compared to what you did this weekend, I guarantee 99.9% of the people listening would have said, I want to hang with Rock.
Let's do it. Let's put them together.
Definitely.
Hey, Ben, how about a music concert versus a comedy and
Weird Al
I
thing.
get it. But I mean, like a real band type of
All right, Connor's the new guy, so let's see if Connor's going to be able to hang with us. Connor, what's your first concert?
My first ever concert was actually Bring Me the Horizon. I know it sounds a little bit on the edgy side, but it was a free concert. My buddies handed me tickets. They're like, let's go.
Okay, you got to. I mean,
You
is
gotta
that
bring
like
us up to
is that a
speed.
church group or something? Is it like
so they're a new metal.
Oh, okay.
Band.
That's why
An actual concert.
Yeah.
Yeah, like a real concert.
All right, so
okay.
So a score for Connor.
Man,
Nice. Nice. Also on this day, 1995, Forrest Gump beat Pulp Fiction and Shawshank Redemption for the best picture Oscar. Come on.
That's amazing. I mean, it's a great
I'll
movie.
take Shawshank Redemption
I
and
would
Pulp
too.
Fiction over Forrest Gump. Now, don't get me wrong, Forrest Gump was great.
Yeah.
That had to be the toughest year ever. That's 1995. Think about it. Those three movies were phenomenal, and all three Ben hasn't seen.
Oh, I'm sure he hasn't. Yeah.
We're
Probably know what they are.
You've seen them? Okay.
You have?
Ben, have you seen it? Hey, all right, let's play. Don't say anything, Ben.
Okay.
I'll say he's seen one of the three.
I'll say he's seen zero.
Okay.
I'll go zero as well.
Ben?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm teaching back here. What movie have I not seen? What was it?
You have Forrest Gump, Pulp Fiction, or Shawshank Redemption?
I have not seen any of those movies.
We got to get hold. You have an older brother? Are you the oldest? Or your older sister?
You got
I'm the
dog?
I'm the middle child. I'm forgotten about.
You have a dog.
I got like 15 minutes into Forrest Gump, and I was out immediately. Turned it off.
Wow.
I was good.
Yeah. Okay.
All right.
Says a lot.
Moving on, 1989, SI published a story about then Cincinnati Reds manager Pete Rose's gambling activities. He eventually would agree to that lifetime ban from Major League Baseball as part of an agreement with the commissioner, Giamatti, if you recall. Also, on this day in 2012, a group led by Magic Johnson emerged as the winning bid in the process to buy the L.A. Dodgers.
Yeah,
Winning bid was estimated $2 billion. That would be what, maybe $10 billion
Oh,
today?
yeah.
Not that long ago.
Well, now his group, I don't know if it's a lot of the same guys looking to put a bid in for the Commanders. And they're saying at the NFL owners meeting this week, they'll have a pretty good idea. Not going to make any decisions this week with Daniel Snyder, but yeah, they say a very strong bid in. And I can only imagine that number with the Yankees being number one at $7 billion, according to Forbes last year.
Crazy.
The Commanders will be at 5-ish, maybe?
5 or 6.
Goodness.
And then finally, in 2017, the announcement that the Oakland Raiders, are moving to Las Vegas, which put an end to the last ballpark sharing arrangement between a Major League Baseball team and an NFL franchise. You remember that was so normal.
Yeah, it was.
The vet with the Eagles
Sure.
and the Phillies, and then of course
Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh and in Cincinnati. I mean, we go on and
Baltimore,
on. I mean, they all did. it.
They all
and I
had
played in all of them with that dual field thing.
Yeah.
Wait, time out.
Yeah.
Define play and all.
Okay.
I mean, before the game, charting the game, holding the game.
I held at Baltimore. I held at Shea.
Okay.
I held in at San Diego.
See, the fact that
I held in Oakland.
They're so limited because you can remember them all.
Absolutely,
You know,
man.
if we go to Frank Sanders later and say, "Can you remember everywhere you played?" He can't rattle
With the
them
dual
off like you.
fields. And in Houston, the Astrodome, what they would do is the bases for the dirt, they would put like this balsa wood on the base area because they're like,
What's balsa wood?
well, wood, really, really thin wood,
Thin wood.
and they put indoor-outdoor turf on
They
it.
call it Basel?
Yeah,
3 minutes.
it's
Or is
kind
that
of-
a Manuch word?
No, it's a very, very thin wood.
Jax, we look
Very-
it up?
Yeah,
Yeah,
balsa wood's
balsa.
a very thin word.
Okay, all right.
But it was
A
wood.
Thin wood?
Yeah, and they put
Okay.
indoor-outdoor on it on those base paths, and when you drop back, it would move. So the turf would shift, and you looked, and you went over there. You could kind of lift up the wood with the turf on and go, oh, so that's how they're doing. So that's how they covered the dirt base areas of the sliding.
All right, Jax, wait, hold on. He is checked. He is correct. Okay, good. All
Okay,
right.
I can vouch for that because doing the Cowboys games and going to the Astrodome, and I walk on the field always before games would begin, and he's absolutely correct about what they did to fill in the bases, the pitcher's mound, all of those things. It was awful.
And they knocked the mound down.
They knocked the mound down.
Fortunately,
Yes.
They realized they knocked them out. That's it right there. They put
Basel.
indoor-outdoor turf on top of it. And it would move when you drop back.
Yep.
I'm like, what the hell?
Good, man. It's going to be a good week. I learned Basel
And
wood
see,
today.
No embellishment there, Rock. I got Jimmy B to
2
back
minutes.
me up.
I'm
man.
backing him up.
Also, happy birthday to my favorite player growing up in football. Any guess, Manuch? You've
In
been around
football?
18 years in football. Favorite player?
Oh, it's definitely not Ron Jaworski. I know.
Close.
So
Listen to this. So I got a call today. Buddy of mine texted me and he said, "Hey, Ron Jaworski's going to be." Let me read this. I feel bad if he's listening, but I don't care because. So he goes,
3 interceptions later.
Yeah,
I know.
he's like, hey, Ron Jaworski's speaking at an event we're having on Friday, April 20th. Any interest in attending? You can bring a guest as well. I go, LOL, thanks. My least favorite Eagle ever. I'll pass. Lost the Super Bowl for me. Let me finish.
Go ahead.
Cried like a baby in the 80s. He goes, haha, good to know. I gather you're still not over it, are you?
We can vouch for you're not
It's
over.
either Harold Carmichael
Close.
or Wilbert Montgomery.
Very close.
Yeah.
One more. And I got to hang out with him one summer because
Was it
I was
Reggie
moving his
White?
furniture.
Reggie
1 minute.
No, I love Reggie White.
Well, I know Roman Gabriel
I
played there for
had his
several years.
jersey, if you remember, in our office. I had his
Oh,
jersey
Donovan
signed.
McNabb.
No,
Steve
I got
McNabb?
that one too. No, close. Very
Oh,
close.
my God.
All right, enough. People are like,
Yeah,
just
yeah.
shut up, guy. Randall Cunningham.
I was just
Randall
gonna say
Cunningham.
That was my next one.
I mean, he by far my favorite player. And when you got to meet him, when I met him, I had a summer job driving a truck and doing electrical stuff, and I wasn't Bob Vila. I could just deliver it, right? Just take it to someone's house.
Handyman deliver.
So true. I can't.
You're talking about me pulling names.
I can't.
Out. Listen to you.
Well, no, I got to catch up because you've been getting your. I haven't exceeded my
30
word
seconds.
count. You
Bob
you
Vila.
exceeded.
Michael Rocker, the Bob Vila of Rock and Manuch,
Anyway,
Jimmy
Suns and Jazz tonight. The NFL world reacts to Lamar Jackson and what the New York Jets are now saying about Lamar Jackson. We're going to have that coming up at the top of the next hour. We will also be joined by Craig Fouey for Facts
15.
for Fouey as we're coming to you live from the CAZ Sportsbook. Don't forget, join us on Saturday. I'll tell you how you can win some money just for watching the Final Four. That's all coming up as we continue on. As Jimmy's got to go to the bathroom again. It's Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B, Fox Sports 910.
Shopping for a mortgage?
Big banks can be a big hassle. Call GC Global Capital and work with a local team of mortgage experts for great rates and lower fees, more options, and faster closings. Don't let your dream home purchase turn into a nightmare. Call the professionals at GC Global Capital, 480-397-9300. GC Global Capital, your local mortgage professionals.
GC Global Capital is an Arizona licensed mortgage broker. NMLS 1091187. License MB 0924983. An equal opportunity lender.
Of course, your favorite station is on the free iHeartRadio app. Take us with you anywhere and listen anytime. Plus, get thousands of other stations and playlists all free. Download our free iHeartRadio app for all your music, radio, and podcasts.
iHeartRadio. In this week's Marketers Report, Patrizio Spagnoletto, Global Chief Marketing Officer, Direct-to-Consumer for Warner Brothers Discovery, weighs in on building trust.
Trust is a really hard thing to build and a really easy thing to destroy, and we have to be very respectful about that. Our partnership with iHeart has really helped us build that trust and that relationship with the on-air talent.
As the #1 audio company, iHeartMedia gives marketers access to the audiences, conversations, trusted influencers, insights, and data you need to grow. Go to iHeartResults.com for more.
I'd rather ride a bike with my kids
Faster!
than ride in an ambulance.
I'd rather have a catch with my dog Curtis than catch pneumococcal pneumonia.
If you're 19 or older with certain chronic conditions like heart disease, asthma, or diabetes, you may be at increased risk for pneumococcal pneumonia. Ask your doctor or pharmacist about getting vaccinated with Prevnar 20, pneumococcal 20-valent conjugate vaccine, a Pfizer vaccine that can help protect against pneumococcal pneumonia in just one dose. Learn more at Prevnar20.com. Prevnar 20 is approved for adults to help prevent infections from 20 strains of the bacteria that cause pneumococcal pneumonia. Continued approval may depend on a supportive study. Don't get Prevnar 20 if you've had a severe allergic reaction to the vaccine or its ingredients. Adults with weakened immune systems may have a lower response to the vaccine. The most commonly reported side effect was pain at the injection site. For additional common side effects and full prescribing information, please call 1-855-213-2138 or visit Prevnar20.com.
The check is good, the experience is smooth, and the reviews online are wonderful at GiveMeTheVin.com. They don't call us America's best car buyer for nothing.
Sell us your car. GiveMeTheVin.com. So easy you can do it in your underwear.
Joe Brown here with Accident Law Group. If you were hurt in an accident, find us on the web at accidentlawgroup.com.
Broadcasting from the Superbook.com studio. Superbook Sports, now live. This is KGM.
Not hot, contrary to popular belief.
HD2 Phoenix, an iHeart radio station. Available everywhere on our free iHeart radio app. #1 for music, radio, and podcasts, all in one. Here's what's trending on Fox Sports 910.
The Cardinals have granted teams permission to speak with wide receiver DeAndre Hopkins about facilitating a trade. That, according to Sports Illustrated. The Cactus League season winding down. The final games playing out today and tomorrow for the Diamondbacks. Both days they will take on the Cleveland Guardians. Sun center DeAndre Ayton could make his return against the Jazz tonight. He's listed as probable on the injury report with a right hip contusion that's kept him out the last 4 games. And Arizona men's basketball are finalizing a 2023 game against Alabama, which will be held on December 20th at the Footprint Center. I'm Frank Harity on Fox Sports 910, available everywhere on the free iHeartRadio app.
This is the Parker & Sons Weather Center. For all your AC, plumbing, and electric needs, call Parker.
I'm Celeste Rodriguez with your Fox 10 weather experts. Nice conditions today, a little bit cooler than normal. We'll see a high of 73 across the valley, 49 your overnight low. We will see the chance for some afternoon cloud cover, but no rain is expected. Tuesday, a high of 80 degrees. Wednesday, warming to 82.
This report is sponsored by Lowe's. Lowe's knows how to get your lawn ready for spring. Take up to $10 off select Scott's fertilizers and get a Craftsman 20-volt string trimmer and leaf blower combo kit for just $99. Valid 3/23 through 4/5. Selection varies by location while supplies last. Excludes Alaska and Hawaii.
Time for the top local and national stories of the hour. Powered by the Sportsbook at CAC Sports Bar in Casino, Arizona. Bet big on your favorite teams and players in an environment that's as exciting as the game you're watching. There's no better place in the Valley to get in on the action. The Sportsbook at CAC Sports Bar. Now, guys, what's your top story this hour?
Well, Suns in Utah tonight. Guess we're getting a bunch of snow, maybe a whiteout there in Utah. And the return of DeAndre Ayton as they'll clash as he's missed the last 4 games with that hip injury. And then sounds as though as this team comes back and hosts Minnesota on Wednesday. It's expected that Kevin Durant will return to the lineup, according to multiple reports. We'll have a pair of tickets to give away for that game tomorrow, as we'll be broadcasting from Brawley Queen in Tempe Marketplace from 1 to 4. So tune in tomorrow for your chance to win some tickets, thanks to El Tequila. And Suns remain in fourth despite only winning 2 games out of the last 8, 2-6, and they are still 39-35, a half game ahead of the Clippers, and now 1 full game up on the Warriors. So Suns and Utah tonight, 6 o'clock on Bally.
Well, good for them to close out the fourth quarter finally, right? After losing 6 out of the 7 games. See the bench score, 53 points in that game, and to see an energy and tenaciousness, I felt, in that fourth quarter that they weren't going to lose that game. And I got to tell you, Embiid is just an absolute monster.
He's terrific.
He's phenomenal. I mean, to see where he's shooting from 3, from going down low, all the above. But I got to give him credit. They D'd up, rebounding, cut way back on the turnovers. And the one thing that I looked at was the 35 assists, Jimmy, that they were dealing the ball. Everybody took part in as far as that was concerned. And nice to have more than 1 or 2 guys getting double digits in that game.
Interesting side note, when you just referenced Embiid, he is not playing tonight in Denver against the Nuggets, and neither is the Joker. They are both out for the Sixers. Everybody was waiting for that big matchup because they are the 2 top MVP candidates this season in the NBA. But neither one is going to play tonight.
I think the bigger story, I don't care about that game. I care about Utah, and they have 4 guys that are going to be out with Markkanen and Sexton and Clarkson and Gay. All those guys are out, and right now it's just Durant for Phoenix. So this is a game that you got to win. This is a game you got to win, and that would be nice. Last night, the Yotes fell to the Avalanche in a shootout 4-3. The latest skid is now up to 4 in a row. They'll play Edmonton tonight in Tempe. On the national level, the NFL annual league meetings are underway here in Phoenix. A bunch of guys playing golf, drinking a bunch of good bourbon and eating well, hitting it, State 44 and Mastros and having a good time. But what the big story was early this morning, it was reported that Lamar Jackson confirmed that he requested a trade from the Ravens on March 2nd. The news could give the Jets another option while working with the Green Bay Packers, but that got axed as Douglas, who is the general manager, Joe Douglas, he shot that idea down real quick. He said it would be disingenuous and negotiating in bad faith if we went down that path. Right now, we have our plan, we have our process, and we are sticking to that. Jets fans don't want to hear that.
No, they don't.
Jets are like, let's go. Yeah. Lamar's available. Would you rather have Lamar? Or would you rather have Rodgers?
You got 26 versus 39. I mean, you go back and forth. This whole Rodgers-Jets thing is really, I think they're at a standstill right now. I think the Packers are wanting too much, but if they want too much, and if Love's going to be their guy moving forward, or is it Rodgers moving forward? So at some point, somebody's going to have to give, and the Jets are probably not wanting to get what the Packers want. And for the whole Lamar Jackson situation, I think this was going to happen sooner or later. We're going to put it out there. But John Harbaugh says he's not going anywhere. Mm-hmm. He's not going anywhere. Well, if he's not going anywhere, you're going to have to dole up and pay the guy. And if you can't work out a trade, the guy might just sit out. He's only 26 years old. He might sit out. And at that point, he'll get fined because he's under contract. And then at what point do you go, okay, somebody's got to give. I can't see the Ravens giving him up. I think they come around and pay him.
I'm with you on that, but I also think that they are going to just sit and wait, what you just talked about. And I think the teams right now, because Lamar doesn't have any leverage, none whatsoever. So I can see teams lowballing him where the deal right now is like 32 mil.
32 is what the is what the tag number is.
Okay. So they're offering 35. That's it.
Here's where the heartburn is. If they're going to trade, this is what the Ravens are up against. Okay, they're going to look. Somebody's have to give 2 first-rounders. Yeah. First of all, so is he worth 2 first-rounders? That's going to be the beauties in the eye of the beholder. Yes. Whether it's the Colts or whether it's this team or that team, whatever. He's only 26, as I mentioned, so he's got longevity. So if you're going to give it up, if you're going to pay him the $225 million guarantee, which Deshaun Watson has in Cleveland, that's his comp. Then are you going to give it up for a kid that's 26? but's been beat up a little bit with all the running and throwing he's had.
You know, the worst comes worst is they're going to franchise tag him, and then he's going to make us $40 million or something like that.
Right.
Came out today that Washington's not in the market. They're going to stay with Jacoby Brissett and
for now.
You know, I was surprised that they wouldn't make a run at it. You know, maybe they're going to wait until they get a new owner, and then you can make a run for it. But, you know, what's plan B for both these teams? I mean, especially the New York Jets. What's their plan B if they're not going to go the route with
Rodgers?
What if something happens and, to your point, Green Bay doesn't want to play? What are the Jets going to do?
And Mike White is gone, the backup quarter for the Jets, who did better than Zach Wilson. He's gone down to Miami. You got Zach Wilson. You're going to live and die with Zach Wilson as your guy?
Terrible.
So after last year?
Terrible.
So what else is next? You got Houston and you got Indy, the quarterback.
Yes.
Do you make a run for Lamar? You got a lot of draft picks. You got high draft picks.
And don't. Here's the other team. This is off the wall, guys. It's got a lot of draft picks. It's the New England Patriots, but they're not going to move off of Matt Jones, at least for now. So just throwing it out there. But I think Houston. I think you go make that. If that's the thing, you go make the move. You're in a rebuild mode for the next couple of years. You're acquiring picks. You bring in a Brandon Cooks. You bring in this guy. So you go do that. Give him a couple picks. You got nothing to lose. That organization's in the doldrums.
It is. I agree with that. But if you are Houston and you know you can get C.J. Stroud as the number one pick, he makes the minimum when he comes in for 3 years?
Yeah, but you know,
so then you can get more draft capital around him and hope then by year 2 he's going to play well.
When a new head coach comes in that's been a defensive coordinator for a very successful franchise like the San Francisco 49ers, he's not going to wait. He doesn't want to wait around for a rookie quarterback to develop.
That's fair.
He'd rather have a guy that can jump in there from the get-go. That's why I think either Colts or Houston have the cachet to go give a couple picks away and go get them and give Baltimore what they want. Now, all right, Baltimore gets their 2 first picks plus the compensation. Do they want to give them up? So now they got the leverage still.
They do. They absolutely.
So I don't know. I'm surprised this is happening now. I think this should have been happening like maybe a month ago. But Lamar's case, all he can really do is just put that out there.
You know, the Patriots, Kraft spoke today. Bill Belichick, you know, he's got an extensive list of coaches that have learned under him. 11 former assistants and 3 former players have gone on to NFL head coaching jobs.
Wow.
That's huge. Now, not all of them have had success, but that's a heck of a list. Well, today, Robert Kraft told the NFL Network in an interview that linebackers coach Jared Mayo is the potential heir apparent to Bill Belichick.
He's a hell of a linebacker, too.
Yeah, played 8 years for them.
I think of Vrabel, who's had a lot of success in Tennessee.
He has.
Matt Patricia
did not have
led balloon over in Detroit.
Yeah, he didn't have success there.
But you think of a lot of guys. I think the offensive coordinator went on to Notre Dame to be the head coach at the time. Think of Riley going on to Houston. Had success there, and now he's back. So you know what? You think of that coaching tree underneath him, and you think of all the Bill Walsh guys underneath him, and all the main coaches over the years had those guys fall underneath them. You know, Andy Reid, you remember, was an assistant coach of the Packers before I moved on to the Philadelphia Eagles, and then moved on to the Kansas City Chiefs. So that lineage is there.
The college basketball news, not a surprise. Rodney Terry, it looks as though he has agreed to a 5-year contract to become the school's full-time coach. He's been the interim since Chris Baird was suspended in December and ultimately fired a month later.
3 minutes.
So he guided Texas to a Big 12 conference championship, number 2 seed in the tournament, and got to the Elite 8. So Rodney Terry, real good guy. I mean, he was
great guy.
So emotional after last night's loss, but good to see that.
You like to see good guys get rewarded for the effort and the work that they had put in. And
Coach Larinaga at Miami for one.
That's it.
All the years you think about
he's
that.
72, I think. I think he's the oldest head coach.
I love his philosophy. Don't worry about the score. Just play your game.
Yeah.
I went, wow. I mean, they just continue to play and play hard. In matter of fact, when they had the 5 of them, the starters, and he were on the presser, and he looked back and the guys, what's our philosophy? And the guys just play our game. I thought that was interesting that you think philosophies for players, unless they've got all kinds of things built in, if they're down. But for them to come back and win that game was great.
Tremendous.
Hey, make plans to join us
2 minutes
this Saturday for our Big 4 weekend, Saturday and Monday here at the CAZ Sportsbook in the CAZ Sports Bar in Casino, Arizona. Easy to say. 12-year NBA veteran and ASU standout Fat Lever will join us. He'll be with us for the duration. Also, 3-time NBA champion and North Carolina Tar Heel Scotty Williams will be here. We'll be doing a special Q&A between the games. First game starts at 3 o'clock, and you can win cash just for watching the games, as we'll be doing free props and squares for all 3 games, Saturday and on Monday. So we encourage you to come on out and join us on Saturday and Sunday. So I'm looking forward to that, as we are here at the CAZ Sports Bar. 2 theater quality projection screens, 46 4K flat screens, a sports book with a self-service kiosk, many of those, but you can just go to the booth as well. So looking forward to that coming up here on Saturday. Tomorrow we're at the Barrio Queen at Tempe Marketplace. Are we in Venezia's on Wednesday?
Yes,
we are.
Chandler
one.
Yes,
Good. We haven't been there a while. I gave up pizza for Lent. You know, I'm a big church-going guy.
Look at you.
And,
I'm sorry.
And I haven't had it. I do it every year, but I've been good.
I commend you.
I can't go to church. I don't make it to church.
Yeah, but that's
I'm figuring at least I gave up something.
Yeah, that's good. That's good,
At
Rock.
least I'm telling my parents that I'm doing something right. Parents are still proud, you know. Hey, when Charles Barkley speaks, people listen. And last night he appeared on 60 Minutes and definitely had something to say, especially regarding Kevin Durant and his relationship with Michael Jordan. We'll bring back some of those highlights. Plus, we'll get into the big game tonight with the Suns and Jazz. Craig Bowie coming up in 15 minutes as we're coming to you live from Casino, Arizona. This is Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B. Fox Sports.
The Twin Peaks Fan Pick'em is back. Win 910 on 910 Bracket Challenge presented by Dos Equis. Win man cards after every round. Win the entire bracket and take home a $910 man card. Plus your height in Dos Equis. Head to fanpick'em.com.
Right Toyota, the #1 volume Toyota dealer in the state of Arizona, ensures you a buying experience that will exceed all your expectations. Check it out for yourself. Located just off the 101 on Franklin Road Boulevard in Scottsdale and online at righttoyota.com.
Did you bust your bracket? Plus a few bucks. No worries. Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B are here to give you a chance to win cash during their Big 4 weekend at the
Yes, I'm going to do this segment, so that sounds good.
Casino, Arizona. The guys are hosting free cash props and squares contest for all 3 games.
Sounds good, and if I screw it up, Connor did it.
Monday. Win cash just for watching games with Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B at the CAZ Sports Bar in Casino, Arizona.
It's Jason Payne, owner of State 48 Roofing and your sexy status roof guy on Instagram and Facebook. Lesser roofers cut corners, cobbling together patchwork roofs to meet a budget.
It's probably Manuch. You know that guy.
Give us a call today for your maintenance, repair, or full replacement needs.
Golfers, you won't want to miss the Vans Golf Shop's Wilson Golf Fitting event happening this week. This big event is your chance to check out the new Wilson Dynapower woods and irons. Come meet with the Wilson Golf team and get custom fit for the new Dynapower woods and irons. Schedule your custom fitting appointment online at Vans Golf Shops today. Don't miss it. It's happening this week. Vans Golf Shops, home of the 90-day satisfaction guarantee, unmatched expertise, unmatched service.
I'm Ava Mendes, and when I heard that the average kitchen sponge is 200,000 times dirtier than a toilet seat, I made finding a sponge good enough for my family and my home my mission. That's when I discovered Skura-style sponges. They're antimicrobial, so they don't smell, and tell you when it's time to replace them. So if you never want to touch another stinky, soggy, bacteria-filled sponge again, go to Skura-style.com. That's SKURA style.com.
Up to 40% off during spring cleanup sale.
When I can't sleep, my mind just races. I think about work, the kids, but I don't think about taking melatonin because I'm afraid I'll feel groggy in the morning.
ZzzQuil Pure Z's Gummies has an optimal dose of melatonin for no next day grogginess, so you can fall asleep naturally and wake up feeling refreshed. ZzzQuil Pure Z's Gummies for better sleep like never before. And try Pure Z Sleep plus Next Day Energy with melatonin plus extended release B vitamins.
Back to Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B, broadcasting live from the CAZ Sportsbook in Casino, Arizona. The Sportsbook at CAZ Sports Bar in Casino, Arizona is a sports fan's paradise. You are locked in to Fox Sports 910, live from CAZ Sportsbook in Casino, Arizona.
Hey, since your bracket is busted, you can get in our 4-team bracket contest, win a $100 Twin Peaks man card. That's a gift card. And your height in Dos Equis. Your height in Dos Equis. Sign up now at fanpick'em.com. We know you busted your 16 and you busted your overall. We do want to give some love to Bronson Teagan, Jack Albert, Brian Schwanenberger.
Very good, Rock.
And Todd Anderson. I like that one. All 4 of them so far have won as part of our Fan Pick'em contest with Twin Peaks and Dos Equis. Well, last night during a sit-down with 60 Minutes with reporter John Wortham, Charles Barkley discussed various topics, including the state of college basketball, Kevin Durant's weak temperament for criticism. The conversation eventually turned to Michael Jordan, who hasn't spoken with Charles in many years over a comment he made about Jordan's performance as the Charlotte Hornets, then Bobcats owner. So we'll start with that. We have some sound we want to bring to you. I think it's pretty cool. Of course, it's Charles Barkley. We'll start with the feud between Charles and Michael Jordan, which hold on, guys, and which I knew there was this feud, but I didn't know it hadn't been resolved. I really didn't. I had no idea. And we'll play some of it right here because I think it's pretty interesting what Chuck said, and I'm very surprised that these two grown men haven't made up.
What I said, I think that he don't have enough people around him going to tell him no. And he got really offended, and we haven't spoken. But, John, I'm going to do my job because I have zero credibility if I criticize other people in the same boat and not criticize my best friend.
Even if you have nothing to apologize for, you think of just picking up the phone and trying to repair this thing with Michael?
I got an ego too, John. You can't be great at something like that doesn't give you the right to be a jerk.
You think you'll resolve this eventually?
He got my number.
Born 3 days ago.
You know, they both have egos. Yeah. Extreme, huge egos. You know, Barkley's made it known that it's a big regret of his that it happened this way. I'm surprised Barkley hasn't, called Michael and said, hey, my bad. I shouldn't have done that. But,
or explained his position.
Yeah.
They say, hey, look, you're fair game. You own a team. I'm a broadcaster. I see things that aren't going right. You have a continuum, but you got a track record of things not going right. I've got to be honest with you. Now, what is it you don't care for, Michael? And I would broach the conversation that way.
This goes back, and if you go rewatch the documentary on the Dream Team that runs on NBA TV every once in a while, and you can see how tight Jordan and Sir Charles are within the context of the way that documentary was filmed. And they had been boys for a long time. So this is something that I think just cut Jordan right to the quick. And he just is not going to give it up.
They used to golf over at Gainey Ranch all the time and all the private courses in the valley. I mean, these guys were
boys.
Total boys.
Yep.
I mean, they had so much love for each other. And it's unfortunate because those are two guys that you would love to see interviewed, together.
Sure. And I think what the word,
or if you had to pick that foursome, that you could play that celebrity foursome, and I'd be those two guys and throw in Will Ferrell, and I'm set.
That's a great foursome right there.
That'd be awesome.
I think pride and ego get in the way. I think sometimes they'll cut your nose off to spite your face. I mean, sometimes somebody take the lead, be the adult in the room, and say, "Can we hash this out? Let's move forward."
So, number 2, Charles Barkley ripped the state of college athletics. He said it's a travesty and a disgrace, and he made it clear yesterday that he is no fan of the current NIL, and he sees, this is these collectives essentially paying players to join their school's program. He has no love for this. Here he is commenting on that.
It's a travesty and a disgrace. I'm so mad now how we can mess up something that's so beautiful.
How do we mess it up?
We can't pay all these players. In the next 3 to 5 years, we're going to have 25 schools that's going to dominate the sports because they can afford players. And these schools who can't afford or won't pay players are going to be irrelevant.
Don't you find that interesting that he made those comments. And at least right now, the schools that are in the Final Four, Florida Atlantic, San Diego State, three of the four, they will be under Charles' situation here. They would be obsolete in his thought
That's
process.
what I'm thinking. And and I got to tell you what, if this was back when Charles Barkley could have collected NIL and this, he'd have been one of the first ones up front.
Damn straight.
To collect all the and unfortunately, guys, it's the way it is.
Yeah,
I don't care
That's
for
the funny
it.
thing about these, and you're one of them, and it's no disrespect. It's these older guys that played. Oh man, they bitch about how it is now, and hey, they would have been the first one. You would have been the first one with your hand out.
Yeah, I had my 4-door Ford Maverick, my tank.
You would have had it in a heartbeat.
I'd have got new wheels on that bad boy in a heartbeat. Absolutely.
Also, and we're going over the 60 Minutes last night with Charles Barkley, which is pretty cool here on Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B. And I'm going to take you back 9 years first, and I'm going to play a clip inside the NBA where Charles Barkley nearly falls asleep. You're going to hear this, and then you'll get his response when he was asked about it on 60 Minutes last night.
May have had something to do with this.
Underdog, put that on a t-shirt.
Chuck, are you with us?
I'm bored, man. Yes, chuckalepsy. Kitty, Kitty. Let me tell you something. Kitty, he has chuckalepsy. What is wrong with you, man? Man, let me tell you something. After watching, I'm not even gonna lie. No. After watching those chuckalepsy. Hey, listen. After I watched them 2 games, I've never seen something like that. And then come back with a disingenuous word. Yeah. Well, because after watching them 2 games, come on, listen, man. Chuck, you can't be telling me you was like that. Underdog, put that on a t-shirt, man. Man, underdog, seriously. That's all he makes. Put that on a t-shirt. As I was saying about it, listen, after watching those 2 games, after Scoundrel went out tonight, I was done for the night. Oh, man.
Outstanding. That's 9 years ago, roughly March of 9 years ago.
Totally busted.
Yep. And again, they sound as bad as we do, stepping on each other. Here's Charles when asked about that on 60 Minutes last night.
It's just basketball. We're not solving inflation. We didn't just get back from Afghanistan.
But you're not a used car salesman either. I mean, if the game's no good, you'll admit it. You'll admit it.
Because the fans ain't stupid. They just saw it. If I tell them that was a good game, they're going to be like, what the hell is Charles talking about?
You said sometimes you've even fallen asleep on the set.
Oh, I fall asleep, man. They're like just sitting there watching like, oh, man, this is just bad basketball.
It's outstanding. Well, now let's get to what he had to say about Kevin Durant, calling him very sensitive. You'll hear what he said, and then I will give you Kevin Durant's response because he has escalated the feud with Charles Barkley. This is pretty interesting knowing now that he's a Phoenix Sun. Charles Barkley is Mr. Phoenix Sun. I'm anxious to see how this escalates, but here's what Charles had to say when commenting about Kevin Durant.
He's very sensitive, great player. He's part of that generation who think he can't be criticized. He's never looked in the mirror and says, man, was that a fair criticism?
We're in agreement. Today's players are a little more sensitive to criticism than your generation.
That would be an understatement.
Wow. So Kevin Durant didn't waste any time to get on Twitter and said, quote, "This ain't getting tired, Chuck. I'll never respect the words that come out of your mouth, fam. Just deal with it." I mean, great grammar. Learned a lot of Texas. But so there it is. And at one time, Barkley, they just don't get along, and that's fine. He previously called him a bus rider, not a bus driver at one point. That was one of the big deals. So I'm anxious to see how this continues to escalate. It's going to be fun for us to talk about.
Anytime you have a current star arguing with a
Hall of Famer.
Durant's
a Hall of Famer.
Well, yeah, but not yet. But
he will be.
He will be, but he's not yet. It makes for great commentary. And I love it, to be honest with you. I really do.
I wish sometimes that the players, I agree with Charles, they're overly sensitive. They're very enabled. Just ignore it. Just say, hey, look, Charles has his opinion. Excuse me, I'm going to move on with mine. And we'll just leave it at that. And just go prove him wrong for whatever reason. But obviously, Charles has got a basis for what he sees with a lot of these guys. And I'm glad he brings it out because I'm like, amen, touche.
One time he called him Mr. Miserable, that being Kevin Durant. Hey, Kevin Durant, I don't know you, never talked to you, probably will never meet you, and I don't care if I do or if I don't. I just hope you do well for the Phoenix Suns. But
Bring it home for us, man.
Just some advice from your Uncle Rock. Don't respond.
Exactly.
Don't say a word.
Just let it go by.
Just shut up.
Yeah.
You just why make it worse? Because right now Charles owns the city, not you.
Yeah.
And you're gonna have to do a lot to prove that you can, get your name and number retired up there in the
Charles
Raptors.
has got the legacy to that point exactly. He's the big dog, and you're just on. And if you can win a couple championships and get your name hoisted to the rafters or whatever with that championship band, then you'll have some clout, as I call it, or cachet to speak yours back and forth to Charles as well.
And with Kevin Durant responding, it means that he's bothered by the comments.
There you go.
Yeah,
shut your mouth and play better.
And I was just going to say,
Get healthy.
That's what he said. Charles, he said he's sensitive. Well, there you go.
Yeah,
There's
yes,
the
sir.
response.
Move on.
Join us tomorrow, El Bandito Yankee Tequila Tuesday. We do it every Tuesday at a different Barrio Queen. This week, we're going to actually go back to the Tempe Marketplace because they had such a good time with us last week. They said, can you guys come back? I think next week we'll be in Scottsdale and then Desert Ridge after that. So we encourage you to stop by, have some incredible, authentic Mexican food, and try the El Bandito Yankee Tequila. That's tomorrow live from Barrio Queen at Tempe Marketplace. We'll also be giving away a pair of Suns tickets to see the sensitive Kevin Durant come back against Minnesota.
Look at you, huh?
Hey, we're going to go Factor Fooey tomorrow. I mean, now, actually, with ABC 15's Craig Fooey. I got thrown off there. That's next as we continue on from the CAZ Sports Book in Casino, Arizona. This is Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B, Fox Sports 910.
What's trending on Fox Sports 910 Phoenix?
The Suns could get center DeAndre Ayton back tonight against the Jazz. He is probable on the injury report. He's got that right hip contusion that's kept him out the last 4 games. Carl Vejmelka will get the start in goal for the Coyotes for tonight's game against the Oilers. The Cardinals have granted teams permission to speak with wide receiver DeAndre Hopkins to facilitate a trade. Cactus League is winding down. The final games play out today in Navarro. The Diamondbacks will take on the Guardians both days. Arizona men's hoops finalizing a 2023 game against Alabama. It'll be at the Footprint Center on December 20th. I'm Frank Garrity on Fox Sports 910, available everywhere on the free iHeartRadio app.
Hey, sports fans, celebrate every big game with El Bandito Yankee, an ultra-premium tequila made from 100% Blue Weber agave in the highlands of Jalisco. Their certified additive-free Blanco and Reposado features a unique oxygenation process for a rich smoothness without that tequila burn. It's why they won platinum and gold medals and are now listed as the world's top tequilas by Rolling Stone.
He forgot to stick on the queue.
In all 7 Barrio Queen locations. Go to elbandito.com and break out the Bandito with the official tequila of game day.
Join Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B every Thursday as they broadcast live 1 to 4 from one of the 4 Valley Twin Peaks. Tune in at 2:45 for Peaks Picks to win a man card. For this week's location, head to rockandmanuch.com. That's Thursdays at Twin Peaks.
Join the Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B for their Big 4 weekend at the CAZ Sports Bar in Casino, Arizona. ASU all-time great fat lever and 3-time NBA champion Scotty Williams join the guys on Saturday. Plus win cash with their free props and squares contests. That's the Big 4 weekend at Casino, Arizona.
GiveMeTheVin.com is paying top dollar for your car, truck, sports car, exotic. I told my buyers, let's get them bought. Right now is the time to go.
Sell us your car. GiveMeTheVin.com. So easy you can do it in your underwear.
In this week's Marketers Report, Raja Manar, Chief Marketing and Communications Officer of MasterCard, talks about measurement.
Measuring Sonic and Sonic branding, the principles of measurement are the same, but the parameters that you measure are different. We measured, and what we find is our investment is paying for itself in oodles.
As the #1 audio company, iHeartMedia gives marketers access to the audiences, conversations, trusted influencers, insights, and data you need to grow. Go to iHeartResults.com for more.
Stunning design, unmatched intelligence, and a compact ready for anything build. Sometimes exceptional is the rule. The Mercedes-Benz GLA, member of the unrivaled SUV family. Learn more at MBUSA.com.
Back to Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B, broadcasting live from the CAZ Sportsbook in Casino, Arizona. The Sportsbook at CAZ Sports Bar in Casino, Arizona is a sports fan's paradise. You are locked in to Fox Sports 910, live from CAZ Sportsbook in Casino, Arizona.
It's time for Fact
or Fooey with ABC 15 sports director Craig Fooey. Fooey joins the guys each Monday to break down the top stories of the weekend. And as a reminder, Manuch writes the questions. Now here's ABC 15's Craig Fooey.
Before we catch up with Fooey, does anybody know here at our broadcast booth if it's a full moon tonight?
It's been different
because
that's
we're
true.
broadcasting from the CAZ Sportsbook, and we've had a lot of people come up to us and just sit here and just talk to us, and either it's 2 in the morning, not 2:30 in the afternoon.
They want to meet Rock. They want to meet Rock.
It's interesting crowd today.
It really is.
Anyway, Craig Fooey now on the right Twitter guest line. How we doing, Fooey?
I'm doing great, fellas. Had to step outside. I'm over here at ASU's Pro Day today.
Okay. Oh, that's right. I forgot about that. Pro Day for ASU. All right. So I don't think we have any questions.
We
for
have a
ASU.
Pro Day question, but
we may have one at the end. We'll come up with one. But let's get started here because we know you're short on time. All right. Factor Fooey, ABC 15's Craig Fooey. All right. The most parity ever is full front and center in the NCAA tournament when you have 3 of the 4 teams in the Final Four for the first time ever. Factor Fooey, most parity ever. Factor Fooey.
Well, fact. I mean, listen, this is what they got. One and done. This is what you get, right? You don't know who the Blue Bloods are anymore. For goodness sakes, these kids come into college, they play one season, they're gone. Even if they're going to go to college now because they've got other leagues they can do and they go straight from high school again. Listen, this is what the NCAA basketball has set up for itself. One and done. Guys come in, they're all freshmen playing. Once in a while, you get a junior that transferred from somewhere else. Other than that, it's young kids. You don't know what you're going to get. I love it. Listen, you talk about everybody's upset that the Blue Bloods aren't in it. Well, for goodness sake, Florida Atlantic deserves to be there. They made their way to the Final Four. UConn, probably the favorite right now. I'm sure in Vegas they are. And then you've got Miami and San Diego State. How can you argue with the Final Four? This is what you get.
It leads me to my next question. The transfer portal and NIL deals are the main reason for the teams having a shot to win the tournament. Fact or Fooey?
Well, I'm going to say fact. I think, listen, the NIL is a part of this that's going to change the landscape dramatically in the next 5 years because kids are going to get paid a ton of money. And they may stay for longer, right? If you're making more there than you can make in an Asian league or a European league, I'll stay in college. So that may change things. The transfer portal, I know they're going to correct that a little bit. They're going to give kids one transfer opportunity now, and then you've got to do a hardship kind of a case. I'm reading that over the weekend. So that'll change. But yeah, the NIL thing is going to change it dramatically over the next 5 years. Right now, we're still in the early stages of that. But, in basketball, it's been going on for 20 years, right? I mean, come on. Mm-hmm. The Nike camps, the Adidas camps, the Under Armour camps, they've all been trading cash through those things. And I'm not blaming Under Armour, Nike, or anybody else, Adidas, but this has been going on in all these week-long camps over the summer for the last 20 years.
All right, Fooey, here we go. Suns question, since they play Utah tonight in Salt Lake City.
Yeah.
Suns fans can finally feel confident with the Suns bench since they came alive and scored 53 points against the Sixers the other night. Fact or Fooey?
Well, Fooey on that. One night is not a body of work, right? So listen, I loved it. I love the fact that they beat the Sixers at home because nobody thought they would without DeAndre Ayton, without Kevin Durant. But they played really well, as you said, off the bench, 53 points. But it's one game, right? We got 8 to go in the regular season. We got to see how this develops and how it works. Monty said the other night, listen, I it's sort of a godsend that Kevin was out because I had to play T.J. Warren a little bit more. He got his legs underneath him. Bismack Biyombo had a career night the other night. Jock Landale played well. So some of these guys played well, but I'm not ready to cash in the house here, the mortgage on the house based on one game for the bench. Not doing it.
All right, here we go. Question 4 with Craig Fooey from ABC 15. He's on the right Twitter gas line. With the return of DeAndre Ayton and Kevin Durant this week, the Suns will lock up the 4th spot in the seeding in the Western Conference. Factor Fooey.
Ooh, that's a tough one. I'm going to say fact on that because I think they will. But I'm not sure it's going to depend on Kevin Durant. Listen, if I'm the Suns, let me just say this. If I'm the Suns, I'm not pushing Kevin Durant back on the court too soon. I'm going to let him take his time. He's got to get healthy, 100% healthy. And I'm not sure. Everybody's talking about Wednesday. Shams is saying, it's Wednesday. I'll come back Wednesday. DeAndre Ayton back tonight. That's fine. DeAndre Ayton had a bruised hip. a week ago against Orlando. So he should be back on the court. But Kevin Durant, if I'm the Suns, if I'm James Jones, if I'm Monty Williams, I'm saying, hey, you know what? Let's just take it easy, KD. Let's just not push yourself back out there on Wednesday just because you think you need to debut. Let's take it easy and get you to the playoffs. I need him in bubble wrap for the next week.
All right, Coach, last question. Little D-backs. The D-backs need to play at least 500 baseball the first 10 games of the season with 8 Dodger games and 2 Padre games. First pitch Thursday at 7:10, Chavez Ravine. Fact or fooey? At least 500 baseball those first 10 games. That's some tough sledding right there, Coach.
That's some tough stuff, but I'm going to say fooey on that because last I checked, there's 162 games in a baseball season. So I'm not so sure the first 8 games are going to matter. They got 4 at the Dodgers, then they go down to San Diego for a couple. I'm not so sure those are going to determine the outcome of a 162-game season. It is a tough start, but you know what? Everybody's excited at the beginning of the season, right? So anything could happen in those early games. Maybe the Dodgers aren't quite up to speed yet. Maybe. I'm crossing my fingers right now. Maybe the Padres aren't all they're amped up to be. So we'll see. But listen, you don't put too much stock. You want to get out to a good start in the month of April and May. That's the important thing. The first week, I'm not so sure. It would be nice to get the fans kind of support behind you a little bit going into the season because nobody's giving the D-backs a whole lot of chance in the West. But I think Vegas has them at 74.5 wins. So I'll just say that. But listen, I got to go back to Durant real quick. Did you see the latest video on Twitter this last weekend before the game where he had the mop guy right behind him, and when he was warming up on the court, everywhere he went, there was a little floor mop guy there trying to make sure there's nothing wet.
The floor was dry.
The floor was hilarious video. You got to find that video. It is so funny. It's like no wet spots anywhere. We got the kid right behind
Oh,
him.
that's great. That's great. Hey, before we let you run, do you have any teams in the Final Four? And if so, brag about how smart you are.
Well, I had all 4 of these teams.
Yeah.
So listen, I'm the only one with a perfect bracket. No, not a single one. Listen, I didn't even do a bracket because I got so frustrated with the one and done stuff and the NIL, the transfer portal. I'm like, screw it. I'm not going to do a single bracket this year. And I'm glad I didn't. I didn't lose any money.
Fooey, I'm assuming ESPN, NFL Network, everyone's there today at the Pro Day, right?
I will say this, the Walter Cronkite Broadcast Journalism School kids are there.
They're in full force, aren't they?
It's a tough year. And I'm looking right now that ESPN came out with their all too early, assessment for the Cardinals next year. They got them in last place, with 5 wins. I mean, it's going to be a rough fall, I think, here in Phoenix area for football.
We'll see. You may have to go down the I-10. U of A may be someone to reckon with. I think they're improving.
Yeah. Their basketball. Oh no, wait, their basketball team lost too.
Yeah.
Maybe football though.
Fooey,
you guys always make it fun.
Fooey, thank you, buddy. Don't work too hard this week. We'll look forward to catching up with you next week.
Never.
Appreciate your time.
All right, you guys. Anytime.
That's Craig Fooey, ABC 15, working hard today at ASU Pro Day. He'll have that on 15 tonight, and I'm sure they have some sports over there on WB 61 as well.
I'm trying to think who some of the individuals at Pro Day, because I know a lot of kids can get permission to come work out at Pro Day from your NAU or Montana, or if you're in town or whatever like that. But I'm trying to think from the Sun Devils, they're going to be slim pickings as far as the draft is concerned.
I was going to ask you, do you know anybody?
I don't know. Jack took that up. Who are some of the top prospects that will be coming out?
I know their linebacker, Merlin Robertson.
Yeah,
He's one that's been
there's one, but I don't think all those teams show up for just one guy.
No, they don't.
So what happens is there's a lot of, if you get permission from ASU to come out and do your pro day and come out and do the 40s and the shuttle and throw and catch and all that kind of stuff, that's one of the kind of things that you hope to expect, because there's not that many guys from ASU coming out as far as that's concerned.
Yeah, and it's not getting a lot of publicity. I mean, you pull it up and you see last year. 8 guys last year that participated in the NFL workouts, and you had a punter, you had a couple other guys, Logan, whatever his name was, I can't remember that. Logan Tyler, the punter, and then Tyler Johnson, the defensive lineman. They were some of the names that participated in last year's NFL scouting combine, which I'm sure had to do with Pro Day as well.
So ASU's highest ranked prospect is a defensive lineman, and that's at number 251.
2 minutes.
251 is their highest ranked.
It's not good for
No,
recruiting
you
at
know
all.
what? I was going to say,
Gotta have a
Rock,
couple guys.
that's the one thing I hopefully that Kenny Dillingham can get that flip, that script to get those 4 or 5-star kids to come to ASU. And then all of a sudden, maybe 3 or 4 years from now, you'll see kids coming out first, second, third rounder.
Does he get that long, Manuch? If he falters the first couple of years,
they're going to give him time. Trust me.
Okay.
Yeah, they're going to give him time. I think the first, you look at the first 2 or 3 years, go get the talent, get the collective filled up to get some NIL guys, you get the transfer portal. But I think the kind of athlete he can go recruit, he recruited him at Oregon, he recruited him at Auburn. He's got a pipeline to some of these schools to say, hey, look, we want you to come to ASU. You're going to play sooner rather than later. If some of these kids are 4 or 5 stars, they want more NIL money, he'll be competitive to a point. But I think with his coaching, the coaches he has, to get that program up to speed the next 2 or 3 years, then you start to see those kids come in and you might see a first, second, third rounder on a regular basis.
Okay.
I hope.
Join us this weekend, Saturday and Monday, here in the CAZ Sportsbook in Casino, Arizona. We're going to be joined by 12-year NBA veteran, ASU standout Fat Lever. You know who's really excited about this?
Who's that?
Mike Gross, who hosts Take the Points with Jack.
Yeah.
Yeah, he called me today, and he's like, I said, hey, what about having Fat on the show on Saturday, from 11 to 1?
Sure.
He's like, oh, my gosh, you have no idea. When I was the SID at Regis and the Nuggets he was doing a Jimmy B, just totally name dropping and saying, hey, I had such a good, I don't know if he's going to remember me back in the 80s, but, he was a big Nugget. He was like a Tom Chambers here.
Yeah.
Or a Marley, for the Suns. And as his number retired, there for the Nuggets as well as at Arizona State. He's going to join us 3-time NBA champion in North Carolina Tar Heels, Scotty Williams. We'll have them hanging out, doing having some fun with us. You'll be able to hang out, sign some autographs and things like that. And you'll be able to win some money just for watching the games, as we got free props and squares during both games on Saturday and then Championship Monday. So come out, join us. First game starts at 3 o'clock on Saturday. Roc and Manuch will be here hosting the festivities. Jimmy B, it's all right. We know you can't. Super Bowl and Final Four. We're going to put a pause on it. We don't want to overwork
a break, huh? Okay.
Yeah, we don't want to overwork.
We know your time is valuable, Jimmy.
Yeah, you got to work on that golf. You got to
golf game.
Work on that golf game for us. So
me and Frank Sanders.
yeah, so you and Frank can hang out. But again, that's Saturday. If you need more information, go to rockandmanuch.com. Now, us guys, most guys, I would think, other than maybe Ben, because he's just
Does he have a man card, you think,
no,
Ron?
not
taking a beat. He's taking a beat.
He got married young.
Yeah, he
there's
did.
a reason for it. Coming up, we love lists. How about fast food ice cubes? Who's got the best? And we got our dumbass of the weekend, and this guy's from Minnesota. We'll have that next. You listen to Roc and Manuch, Jimmy B here on Fox Sports 910.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is The Odd Couple. Mic check. With Chris Broussard and Rob Parker.
Before the John Morant stuff came out and was public, watching that team, Dylan Brooks and Desmond Bain doesn't say a lot as far as I can tell, but he still has an attitude about him. I'm not saying he's a bad guy. He seems like a good guy. But they just seem like a young, cocky group of guys.
With Chris Broussard and Rob Parker. Today at 4. Tell your smart speaker to play Fox Sports 910.
Whether it's beer and wings with the guys or a steak or ribs with that special someone, Tavern Grill Scottsdale is a casual sports bar and grill with something for everyone. Visit us today at 8880 East Via Linda, Tavern Grill in Scottsdale.
Are you living paycheck to paycheck only to find yourself going backwards financially each month? Nobody wants to file bankruptcy, but many times it's the best choice. The credit industry wants you to believe that bankruptcy is bad and that it will destroy your credit forever, but that's just not true. In most cases, filing bankruptcy can improve your credit. At Lerner Rowe Law Group, our bankruptcy lawyers only work on bankruptcy cases, and we can file your bankruptcy with $0 down.
Lerner and Rowe is the way to go. Call 977-1900.
The right price, the right selection. It's all now at Wright Toyota in Scottsdale. Stop by today and see why Wright Toyota continues to be Arizona's top Toyota dealership, located just off the 101 on Frank Lloyd Wright Boulevard and online at wrighttoyota.com.
Are you looking to get in the best shape of your life and offer your son or daughter the best training in Arizona? Then listen up. Dan Manuch here for the new Coco 5 Performance Center at Bell Bank Park, located in Southeast Mesa, the premier training facility in the Southwest. The state-of-the-art facility is 25,000 square feet, which combines junior high, high school, and college teams, as well as individual athletes of all ages. And it's the new home for my quarterback training. They have the best team of coaches led by Olympic gold medal winner Dan O'Brien. If your son or daughter wants to get bigger, stronger, and faster, then you need to call
Rock, you want to set up your dumbass of the week? You want me just to come back with it?
Calling at 480-572-0647, and one of their team members will get you the type of training specific for your sport. That's 480-572-0647.
Sounds
good. Go online to legacyperformanceaz.com. And for a limited time, mention me, Dan Manucci, and they will give you your first session free on me. Again, that's 480-572-0647, or go to legacyperformanceaz.com.
Do you need a new AC unit or thinking about upgrading yours? I know I have. Hey, it's Jody Ayler from my friends at Plum Smart. Beat the heat this summer with a brand new efficient AC unit, my friends at Plum Smart. Not only are they about half the prices of the other guys, they're going to throw in a free green water purifier installed with every new AC unit. That's a $1,200 value. Call my friends at Plum Smart today, 480-654-8865, or it's just plumsmart.com, because plumbers and AC guys charge too much.
The roar of our engines, the pump of our heartbeats, the pedal to our metal, the sparks that ignite us, the pistons that push us, the passions that drive us. From the feelings that move us to the places that pull us on the roads that unite us. With nearly 6,000 stores and over 17,000 auto care centers, Napa has America's largest network of parts and care, here to keep you firing on all cylinders.
Back to Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B, broadcasting live from the CAZ Sportsbook in Casino, Arizona. The Sportsbook at CAZ Sports Bar in Casino, Arizona is a sports fan's paradise. You are locked in to Fox Sports 910, live from CAZ Sportsbook in Casino, Arizona.
Did you know that the Chevy Silverado is the number one best-selling retail full-size light-duty pickup? Well, if you are shopping for a new or certified used vehicle, you need to go visit your Valley Chevy dealers today. There are 13 dealers in the Valley offering the best deals and offers on trucks, crossovers, SUVs, and cars. Head over to valleychevy.com to find a dealer near you. It's time for the random fact of the day, brought to you by Valley Chevy. As we love lists, and a new poll found that 16% of people always eat the ice when drinking something iced, and 40% of people sometimes do. So where do you go to find the tastiest ice? You're a
cruncher.
Oh, it's unbelievable. It's a
You
problem.
crunch on the air sometimes, Rock. If you got something with your eyes.
I don't know why. It's just been a habit since I was a kid. And I mean, I much rather have, if you're on a road trip and you pull over at one of the convenience stores, I want that ice in the fountain rather than the bottle.
You know what? I just put the top on it and the straw, and I've never been an ice cruncher per se. I'm gonna say Mickey D's. Is number one ice.
They are second to last.
Are they really? Damn. I've never thought about the best ice out there, to tell you the truth.
I'm a big ice guy like Rock. What I would do is I would get a cup of ice, and when I was going to go play tennis, and I would just have the ice cubes during changeover, and instead of drinking water, just because I liked it that much better. I'll go for I go to Jack in the Box a lot, and I have had their ice there, so I'll try Jack in the Box.
Not on the list.
I figured as much.
Yeah.
Arby's.
They're not on the list.
Chick-fil-A.
No, Chick-fil-A is on the list. Yeah, number 2.
Ooh.
Ice ranking. Interesting.
Sonic was number 1 with what they call perfect ice. They're not cubes. They're nuggets, and they're crunchable. Chick-fil-A came in second, and then Zaxby's. They're out in the East Coast, followed by Dairy Queen, Pizza Hut, Starbucks, Jimmy John's, Dunkin', Burger King, and McDonald's and Taco Bell. They came in last. Now I like to. I drink a lot of water. No, I'm just kidding. White Claw. And I got to drink, and I always get it with a pint glass with ice.
Wow.
And I got a couple buddies that are just so high maintenance that the bartender will come with another big plastic cup of ice just so they have it with their White Claw or their Truly or whatever it is that they're drinking, their seltzers. I don't know why.
Kind of waters down the drink, doesn't it?
Well, that's kind of why I do it, to be honest with you, because you're there just to hang out. You're not trying to,
Get the
tie one
cold,
on,
kind of get your hydration while you're drinking.
Yeah,
I get it.
And then some people are just so high maintenance with ice. Can I get some more ice? I mean, what do you need that much ice?
Get that all
I got
the
a buddy
time.
that drinks Coke all the
Yeah,
time, and he's just, it's like, he gets it, he drinks it, he's 3/4 done, or still has that left. Can I get more ice? If you're a waiter or waitress or food server, whatever, what's the proper thing to say these days?
Server.
Server.
Who's your server?
Can I get some more ice? And you're in the weeds. The last thing you want to freaking do is go get you more ice.
I do it all the time. My go-to drink is a 7 and 7, and I'll drink about half of it because I only drink 2, and that's it. And then I'll ask for more ice. More ice.
Yeah, man.
Why don't you get the 2 big cubes that they put in there nowadays, Jimmy?
You can do that too.
Yeah,
you can do that.
High maintenance for crying out
big
loud.
time. Let's get to our dumbass of the weekend.
It's not me.
There's the Oscars.
The Oscar goes to
The Grammys.
And the Grammy goes to...
And the Emmys.
And the Emmy goes to...
But there is one award that acknowledges the stupid in our world.
Dumbass!
Here's Rock's Dumbass of the Week.
All right.
There's the dumbass.
That's right. Police officers have probably heard every excuse in the book when they pull somebody over. And they've probably seen some Oscar-worthy performance. But this is the new one. Cops in Minnesota pulled over someone on Friday night, and the driver handed them their driver's license and a get-out-of-jail-free card from Monopoly. How great is that?
That is classic.
The good thing was the cop actually liked it, laughed about it, shared it on Facebook.
Great.
Yeah,
that is
I thought that was
classic.
pretty cool. So
That
good
is
stuff there.
good
So there's-
for him.
Did he
there's
get the ticket?
Yeah, he still got the ticket.
Okay.
Yeah,
All
but
right.
he could have got worse.
Well, yeah.
I mean,
Good, yeah.
some cops. If the guy got credit, got some credit for the effort.
Well, sure. Yeah.
Humor there.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe someone just for a citation, just they got a warning. We gave him the ticket, but you know what? You got to tell you what. That's a very ballsy move by that guy to put that.
I think that-
because you don't know how a cop's going to react.
Exactly.
How dare you insult me? Go give you a ticket.
I can see that. Yeah.
Good for that.
Real quick, random fact of the day. Another one I forgot to get this in there. You can get rid of the
2 minutes.
dumbass music. Slot machines. Here we are, Casino Arizona. Slot machines show fruit symbols because when they debuted in the late 1800s, some of the prizes really were those fruits. By giving away fruit instead of money, companies avoided the breaking gambling laws.
So 1800s had slot machines going way back machine like that.
Jimmy, tell us about it.
I knew you were going
I mean, I don't know. I mean, it's,
1800s, we got slot machines made it way back. Well, okay, you got the fruit, and that's about all you got. Instead of probably have the machines that drop the coins. That was part of the fun of those slot machines. You
still have it?
Yeah, but I mean,
you
you
can
gotta
put-
have the
yeah,
tickets, you
yeah.
got the credit,
But you
whatever.
can still pull the handle down. I have one in my house. I have an old slot machine that still takes quarters or tokens.
Yes.
I need to have a party so I could get that thing going.
Yeah.
Imagine if you hit a jackpot and they dropped the dollar coins.
1 minute.
Those bad boys, you sit there for a week trying to collect those bad boys. Collect them, put them in your bucket. Then you go take them to the window, count them all out.
Hey, since your bracket is busted, you can now play our 14 bracket contest for a $100 Twin Peaks man card or your height in Dos Equis. You can sign up at fanpick'em.com. Tomorrow we'll be at Al Bandito. Actually, we're going to be at Barrio Queen because of Al Bandito and their tequila, as it is a Tequila Tuesday along with Taco Tuesday. We'll be 1 to 4. We'll be live from the Tempe Market location. We encourage you to stop by and have some incredible, authentic Mexican food and try the new El Bandito Yankee Tequila. That's tomorrow live from Barrio Queen in Tempe, just down the street where we are today. Coming up in hour number 3, we will catch up with former NAU head basketball coach Mike Adris, get his take on that call.
15.
That final call between San Diego State and Creighton. We'll also catch up with former Cardinals receiver Frank Sanders. That'll be at 3:30. Coming to you live from the CAZ Sportsbook in Casino, Arizona, our home every Monday, and our home on Saturday for the Final Four and Championship Monday. Hope you can join us this weekend. It's Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B here on Fox Sports 97.
A homeowner just like you.
Hey.
Decides to fix his roof.
Okay.
He backs up his truck, ties one end of the rope to the bumper and the other to himself.
Smart.
He's working on the backside of the roof until...
What? Wait, no.
Yes, Dad was in tow.
Ooh, was he hurt?
A few bruises and his pride.
Save yourself with State 48 Roofing, offering maintenance, repairs, and replacements. Of course, licensed, insured, and bonded. From residential to commercial. State48roofing.com.
Parker & Sons, your AC, plumbing, electrical, and even water filtration experts. With Parker & Sons, you get service in minutes, not days. So call 602-2REPAIR for Parker. We're not your average Joe.
What's up? I'm Tyrese Maxey, 21st overall pick in the 2020 NBA Draft, a guard for the Philadelphia 76ers, and I'm doing my very first podcast, Maxey on the Mic.
Tyrese!
We'll talk about games, catch up with some of my favorite NBA players, talk travel, food, music, who knows what else. Listen to Maxey on the Mic on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you go to get your podcast.
I often get asked, how can Lerner & Rowe effectively handle DUI and criminal cases when you guys are a personal injury law firm? The answer is simple. We're good at it. Lerner & Rowe Law Group is a separate law firm from Lerner & Rowe Injury Attorneys. We have some of the most experienced criminal defense attorneys available, including one of only a few certified criminal attorneys in Arizona who have handled thousands of criminal and DUI cases. And we offer affordable payment plans. Getting the defense you need is one phone call away.
Lerner & Rowe is the way to go. Call 977-1900.
Springtime, the best time of the year here in sunny Arizona. Spring training, spring break, and of course, Duke's on Miller and McDowell. Enjoy this weather on one of their 3 spacious patios. One is smoke-free. Duke's, right on the Greenbelt at Miller and McDowell, has awesome food, great drink specials, and is totally dog-friendly. Meet up with your friends at Duke's for spring training.
Where? Miller and McDowell, Scottsdale!
Now open in Rocky Point.
Portions of the following program were pre-recorded.
Broadcasting from the Superbook.com studio. Superbook Sports, now live. This is KGME Phoenix, KESC HD2 Phoenix, an iHeart radio station. Available everywhere on our free iHeart radio app. #1 for music, radio, and podcasts, all in one. Here's what's trending on Fox Sports 910.
Another year of the Cactus League is winding down as the final games play out today and tomorrow. For the Diamondbacks, they're taking on the Guardians both days. Sun center DeAndre Ayton could make his return against the Jazz tonight. He's probable on the injury report with a right hip contusion. He's missed the last 4 games. The Coyotes take on the Oilers tonight. They will start Carl Vejmelka in net. The Cardinals have granted teams permission to speak with wide receiver DeAndre Hopkins in order to facilitate a trade. And Arizona men's hoops are finalizing a big 2023 game December 20th against Alabama. It'll be at the Footprint Center. I'm Frank Garrity on Fox Sports 910, available everywhere on the free iHeartRadio app.
This is the Parker & Sons Weather Center. For all your AC, plumbing, and electric needs, call Parker.
I'm Celeste Rodriguez with your Fox 10 weather experts. On this Monday, 73 will be your afternoon high, 49 your overnight low. No rain expected, plenty of sunshine with some winds that'll be light and variable, similar to what we experienced on Sunday. Tuesday, 80 degrees, Wednesday, 82.
This report is sponsored by MGM Rewards. Having the time of your life is more rewarding than ever when you visit any MGM Rewards destination nationwide. Dine, stay, play, and earn on all of it. Details at MGMRewards.com. Subject to earning and redemption limitations applicable to certain purchases and in certain states.
Time for the top local and national stories of the hour. Powered by the Sportsbook at CAC Sports Bar in Casino, Arizona. Bet big on your favorite teams and players in an environment that's as exciting as the game you're watching. There's no better place in the Valley to get in on the action. The Sportsbook at CAC Sports Bar. Now, guys what's your top story this hour?
Roc and Manuch, Jimmy B out here at Casino, Arizona, the CAC Sportsbook, 46 4K flat screen TVs, 2 theater quality projection screens, and the Sportsbook here. Big story, Suns and Jazz tonight. Get underway at 6 o'clock. And the return of DeAndre Ayton after he's missed the first 4 games of the season. The last 4 games, that is. Looking forward to seeing him back and getting this rotation going. And then hopefully on Wednesday, it's being reported, multiple reports, that Kevin Durant will be returning to the lineup.
I think that's good news. You got 8 games to go. Maybe they'll both play all. KD come back Wednesday. But if you get the DA and you solidify that number 4 spot, if there's a couple games left and there's not going to be many changes, which several teams have done them some favors by losing. Golden State lost a big one yesterday. Very ill-advised shot by Poole at the very end of that game for Golden State. But again, little luck to get him back and solidify that number 4 spot, be everybody healthy. Hell, you got, 4 days off before the playoffs start. Get your team ready to go.
I was really interested, and I looked at some of the other teams and how nobody really changed positions at all because they're all beating each other. And so with the exception of Dallas, who is now out of even the play-in game. So the way that things are stacking up right now, it's amazing that you could go 2-8 and still maintain the position that you're in.
Report from CBS Sports that Alabama basketball and Arizona basketball are finalizing a neutral site game on December 20th at Footprint Center in Phoenix. It'd be kind of cool to see the Crimson Tide and the Wildcats go at it. Unfortunately, Crimson Tide has a 3-1 all-time record against the Cats of Tucson. So we'll look forward to that as the Final Four is set, as we are ready to go. As last week, or I should say this weekend, it was tremendous when you look at these games. And I can't remember a year where I've had so much fun watching college basketball. Every week, every game, I should say, every round has just been outstanding. It's just been so much fun. And no one's bracket. No one has anybody. There are a lot of guys out there that have UConn.
Sure, yeah, but not many. I don't know. Everybody had FAU.
No,
maybe Miami. Maybe a few had Miami sneaking in because they had a pretty good record during the year. But San Diego State.
No,
I've always liked them years and years, but they get knocked out in the Sweet 16 or something like that.
Yep.
And I think I had them going Sweet 16. That was it. And I was thinking with my Cats, my K-State Cats, I kind of went with them into the Elite Eight, which they made. And after that, had them get beat. But, it's been very close aside from the UConn game.
Right.
The blowout in the second half against Gonzaga.
Well,
again, Jimmy, Gonzaga let us down once again.
Drew Timme was hosed in that. He was out of the game with 2 quick fouls in the first half, had to sit. And then he picked up his 3rd foul.
Move your feet, Jimmy.
Like 15 seconds into the second half. Had to sit again. Then they called him for his 4th foul, and the game was obliterated and it was over. Plus the fact Gonzaga could not make a 3-point shot.
Head coach Mark, you have like skeletons in his closet or something.
He must.
They said this was the year of all years with Drew Timme, who may or may not come back next year.
Right,
he can. That they had the team. This was the guys. This was the group that they were, but you forget about the 5 fouls in college versus 6 in the NBA, and that we had the same thing with the K-State Cats. Johnson got 2 quick fouls.
He did.
We sat him most of the first half. In the second half, he gets another quick one. Then he comes back and he plays fairly well, but there was no continuity, no flow. But my Cats, still had a chance to win that game.
My Cats rock.
But but you looked at Drew. Is Drew Timme the only one-trick pony for Gonzaga?
Pretty much. The last couple of years, he's been the guy.
For our Win at 910 on 910 fan pick'em contest, thanks to Twin Peaks and Dos Equis. If we look at the leaderboard currently right now, our Runt has 144 points. He is currently in the lead. And when you look at his bracket or her bracket, Hey, in the Final Four, Alabama, Kansas State, Miami, Connecticut. So
Wow.
he got two of
Wow.
four.
Wow.
And then he's got Alabama beating UConn. And then the guy right behind him, Kyle Oler, he is what has he got? He had Alabama, Marquette, and Houston and UConn, but has UConn beaten Alabama. So
Yeah, that'll
going
be
to come down to the
interesting.
wire
Yeah.
there on who's going to win the 9-10 on 9-10 Twin Peaks card, as well as the height in Dos Equis.
You know, the commonality, it seems as though I had KU beating Bama, is the Bama situation and how they faltered in that game on Friday.
Yeah, really. 18
just-
points, Manuch.
Yeah, I mean,
you're not doing well.
No. I have no idea.
Bauer's running away with it right now with 104 points, and he's got no one left, so he's out. But he'll start falling there. But kind of looking at our staff here, Darren's and my dog tied for second.
Perfect.
Jimmy B and Ben and Manuch, actually the real Manuch, 90. Then Gross, Barney, myself, and the rest of them. Here's the deal, dude. You know, in our fantasy and in our football pick'em, you just haven't had much luck. And
Fantasy.
And you didn't win the fantasy.
Oh, but you're not gonna act like I got third place in fantasy.
It's not.
And I
you,
should.
know, you weren't a runner up. Wait, who won the fantasy?
You did.
So, fan pick'em, big fella. What do you do Saturdays from 11 to 1?
Fan pick'em right here.
What do you do? What do you do?
Yes, sir. We do sports picks.
What do
betting,
you do? What do you
opinions.
do? Okay, so
I'm a talk show
co-host.
host. Yeah.
You co-host the gambling show.
But come on, March Madness. Did we expect this?
Football. You did football. You finished last in our pick'em, and now you're finishing last in our basketball pick'em.
You know, Rock, you
Yes,
proved,
sir.
You proved the
I
point.
think what we need to do, dude, we need to take him off that show.
Yeah.
And do a new show, like an archery, tennis,
something he'd be good at.
pickleball.
That he could-
we
that he
need
could-
we need to do the first
Yeah.
pickleball show, an hour-long pickleball show. The pickleball's growing. I mean, it's.
Yeah.
I think the headquarters are here.
Rock,
Hey,
I'm available on Saturdays if you need me.
dude, you're not a part of this conversation at all.
Yeah.
Here's the thing: you start catching up on watching movies that most guys watch.
At least
maybe.
from 1980s in there. You just proved a point when you said who won it. He goes, "Well, I was third place." You're curious about the participation trophies over the years.
Well, he's young.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I've been his third. It means
Yeah.
I get something.
Yeah, they're gonna get a
The
lollipop.
parents are these kids are so enabled.
You get a tutti frutti.
So
and
he gets
a juice bar.
He gets a Happy Meal.
I mean, I was third.
It's a happy
Who
meal.
finished
Yeah.
first?
We'll buy him a happy meal.
We'll just buy the whole team of participation.
They still do Happy Meals. By the way, can adults buy Happy Meals? You're allowed.
Oh, sure.
You're allowed.
Absolutely.
Sometimes that's all you need is that little burger.
Yeah,
and
just make sure the toys in the Happy Meal if you do buy me one, please.
You want the toys?
Oh, yeah, I
Do
want
they
the
still
toys.
do the toys?
Those are collector's item nowadays, Rock. As a matter of fact, over the years, people have their collection of all the toys.
I did not know that.
All the Bandit and all those different.
Yep.
toys. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Oh, that's a thing now.
Hamburglar.
Hamburglar. Yeah.
Hey, some national news. It was reported this morning that Lamar Jackson of the Baltimore Ravens has requested a trade.
What took you so long? I mean,
Well,
really. I
when
mean,
you,
so
when,
it's,
you, when you
it's-
don't have
there's no market.
a agent representing you,
That's true.
I think that has a lot to do with it.
Well, and I think that the crickets out there, as far as anybody wanting to step up and trade for him, give away 2 first-round picks, is part of that. Now, he says he's been making calls, and the other individual that the commission came out and said, do not participate with this guy, this unlicensed guy, is you look at, okay, if you're putting yourself on the market right now, it has to be a trade. It has to work for everybody. Who are the teams? Houston, Indianapolis. You got the Patriots that have a lot of picks, a lot of cash.
Interesting about the Patriots today, according to The Athletic, Robert Kraft told the media today that he received a text message, and this is where I need Ben and Jax. He got a text message from rapper Meek Mill.
Mm-hmm. Famous rapper.
You know who it is?
Yes, I certainly am.
rapper.
Go ahead.
They went.
How
and got
would
him.
you
They
know
went
this?
and got him out of. They
You're-
went. What the ages?
Yes, it
ages
is.
Just
Yeah,
they
you
went
know.
and got him out of jail, and then he showed up at the 6th
3
game
minutes.
and rang the bell.
Who is he, though, Jimmy?
Meek Mill, he's a rapper.
He's from Philadelphia.
Yeah.
He's got a lot of good songs, a lot of
He does.
popular music.
Yes. Okay, that's,
popular Meek Mill.
So I guess in a text message to Robert Kraft, I don't know how Meek Mill would get Robert Kraft.
They're like best friends.
Oh, they are.
Yeah.
So Robert Kraft's into that.
I think
they probably got the same massage parlor in Florida.
I think he probably
Charlie Jackson wants to join him. So he's saying Lamar Jackson wants to be a Patriot. So now we know if this is legit. We know where Lamar Jackson wants to go, and we know how it works in professional sports. If the athlete wants to go to a particular team, he's got a hell of a chance of getting there.
Well, Meek
if he
sounds,
tells
like,
some people.
sounds like Meek Mill's the straw man or the go-between to say, hey, by the way, Lamar would love to be a part of the New England Patriots. Is there an interest there? And here's the thing, though. Robert Kraft has any interest, he's going to contact Lamar Jackson. He's
2 minutes.
represented himself from that particular standpoint. But John Harbaugh says, the head coach of the Ravens, said he's not going anywhere. He's our quarterback. Well, okay.
Would he be a good fit in New England?
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, sure.
Be a good fit. Yeah. I mean, Mac Jones, solid, but they want to add some juice to that offense. Lamar Jackson, whether it's Houston, Indianapolis, you got a guy that can get you back to where you were last year, that being the Patriots with Bill Belichick.
They could trade Mac Jones.
They could, too.
To the Ravens, too. And then Bailey Zappi would be the backup for Lamar.
There's a lot of options here, but the whole thing is that are those Pats going to give up those 2 first-round picks? Hey, Bill Belichick's won Super Bowls without first-rounders in the lineup for many, many times. So he can get that done.
Final four is set. We are going to look back at UConn, FAU, Miami, and San Diego State, and get former NAU head basketball coach Mike Ager's thoughts, plus get his thoughts on that
1 minute
call of the Creighton-San Diego State game. Was it a foul? Should have been a call? Not called? We'll get his take, a guy that actually knows the game better than we do. We'll catch up with him next as we are coming to you live from the CAZ Sportsbook in Casino, Arizona. This is Fox Sports 910.
Hey, Manuch. I'm sorry, Rock. I need Rock to cut a new.
on 910 bracket.
I'm gonna need you to tease Frank Sanders. Let me get it set.
Cards after every round. When the
I'm good.
Like Wright Toyota. Make the right choice. Wright Toyota in Scottsdale, just off the 101 on Frank Lloyd Wright Boulevard, and online at wrighttoyota.com.
Gotta love March, and the best place to watch all the action is at one of the 4 Valley Twin Peaks locations. And it's never too late to get some basketball picks in, as Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B give you multiple chances to win Twin Peaks man cards with a contest after every round. Just sign up at fanpick'em.com. That's fanpick'em.com. And make plans to join the guys throughout the tournament at different Twin Peaks locations to win even more prizes. It's March with Twin Peaks and Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B. Details at rockandmanuch.com.
Hey, it's Gross. Join me, Bauer, and Jackson every Saturday from 11 to 1 live from the Sportsbook at the CAZ Sports Bar at Casino, Arizona for Take the Points. Powered by the Sportsbook at CAZ Sports Bar.
Progressive protects more than just your home and car. You could save when you bundle your motorcycles, ATVs, boats, and RVs. Doesn't that sound good? Like the sound of your boat cruising along the intercoastal. And there's the sound of the truck hitting a really big rock. And now the sound of waves, because the engine stopped. But you know what does sound good? You're covered with Progressive. So bundle all your vehicles and home in one place and save with the multi-policy discounts. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers.
This is Doug Allen. Here's what's trending from the iHeart Sports Network.
Presented by Staples Stores.
Arizona men's hoops are finalizing a 2023 game versus Alabama at the Footprint Center on December 20th. Another year of the Cactus League is winding down as the final games play out today and tomorrow. For the Diamondbacks, they'll take on the Guardians in these last two games. Jets coach Robert Saleh said they're confident Aaron Rodgers will be their quarterback. He also confirmed the team's interest in free agent wideout Odell Beckham Jr. I'm Frank Garrity.
Staples Print and Marketing Services help small business print big. Now get $15 off signs, banners, and posters when you spend $75 or more. Offer ends 4/15. Visit staples.com/printbig for details. This is your sign to try Staples, where prints are perfect, guaranteed.
Everybody, let's go, let's go. Ho, ho, ho. Welcome, everyone, to West High School Spring Fling. Hey, where we at?
All right, I've gone through all the tracks. Just move through the beats. Do your thing.
All right, everyone, let's hear it for West High's own Brooke Turner, a.k.a. DJ Hook.
Scratching at my first school dance takes confidence. So we're getting into college. I've got what it takes. Okay, I went to the practice sessions. I slept good. I feel good.
We will now begin the test. Please take out your pencils.
I got this.
We're all good at something. Maybe it's breakdancing or skateboarding or video games. Whatever you're good at, you have the skills to make it happen. And those same skills will help us get to college. Visit knowhowtogo.org to learn what you should be doing right now to prepare for college. Start taking the steps at knowhowtogo.org.
I've got what it takes. So do you.
Brought to you by the American Council on Education, Lumina Foundation, and the Ad Council.
Yeah, salad on Saturday, fruit on Friday, double ball Thursday. Water Wednesday, touch your toes Tuesday. Let's move Mondays, what's next Sunday?
60 minutes of physical activity a day and eating well can help get your child healthy. So keep them active and eating well every day. Get ideas, get involved, get going at letsmove.gov. That's letsmove.gov. A message from USDA, HHS, and the Ad Council.
Back to Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B, broadcasting live from the CAZ Sportsbook in Casino, Arizona. The Sportsbook at CAZ Sports Bar in Casino, Arizona is a sports fan's paradise. You are locked in to Fox Sports 910, live from CAZ Sports.
Butler, get it in. A Roc hands it to Trammell. 3 seconds, 2 seconds. Trammell drives. He's got Darion Trammell will go to the free throw line.
It's all about getting the turn towards the basket. Played it perfectly from a timing perspective. Let's see if there's a hit. Left arm is down low. He didn't hit him with the right arm. The left arm might be on the hip. Let's take another look. See that left hand on the hip? I'm a big believer, Ian, in that if the offensive guy makes a play at the end of the game and he's fouled, you have to call it. Now, some people are saying this may not be much of a foul. But does it affect the offensive guy's motion to the basket and getting a shot off?
A lot of controversy at the end of the San Diego State Creighton game with that go-ahead free throw. That courtesy of CBS. Mike Gagers, former NAU basketball coach, now joins us here on Fox Sports 910. Coach, what do you think? Should you call that foul or not?
You know what? And I hope my good friend down in the valley, Marla Denham, is listening to the broadcast right now, because she used to be the head of officials when I was in the Big Sky Conference. And she was kind enough one year when they had all their meetings to invite me to speak to a group of officials. And it was just a wonderful thing for me as a young coach to sit down and listen to the game from officials' perspective. And that guy, Gene, I don't know what his last name, that's on TV, the ex-official, does a nice job of explaining it during the broadcast. And I'll tell you what, when I watched it happen, I was happy to see what happened, not because I was cheering for San Diego State, but because it was a foul. And I can't tell you how many times officials, coaches will say, oh, he swallowed his whistle, right? And didn't make the call. And you put a hand on a guy's hip like that, that causes them to shift a little bit, and it can alter their shot. And I know Charles Barkley went on not liking it because, he thinks players should determine ball games, and I respect Charles a great deal too, but I really thought that the officials made the right call. That guy who made that call was the right call. And then the following call to check the time. I mean, I was sitting there going, that clock should have started already. I'm playing official just like everybody else was. They show you enough replays that why not? Well, we could do the same thing they're doing live, at the ball game. So kudos to that crew. I think they got it 100% correct. Both calls, the foul call and the call at the end of the game. And, I understand Creighton's viewpoint. I've been there. I've experienced that side of the equation too. But it was the right thing in my mind. And I think most of your listeners probably agree with that.
Coach, let me follow up then with what you just stated. And I do agree with your assessment of that call. However, what the big topic of conversation was that those officials throughout the game were letting that hand check call just kind of slide by. They weren't really enforcing that throughout the game. So my question then is, you as a former coach, when you see that happening and they aren't enforcing it, and then all of a sudden on that play they do enforce it, how does that set you up then as a coach who's been in that position before?
Well, Jimmy B, it's great to hear your voice, by the way, today, and thanks for having me on again.
What are you thanking him for? He's got no. Hey, wait. He's got no say in who comes on the show. Why are you thanking Jimmy B?
and Jimmy B's only been around for 2 months.
Yeah, he's a rookie, man. What's he paying you on the side?
He's an intern.
Yeah, it's still syllabus week.
Okay,
he's a rookie.
Jimmy B, I take it all back. I got to go where my bread's buttered.
We're good, Coach. We're good.
Okay. So speaking of bread getting buttered, yeah, I get what you're saying. The officials, you hope they're consistent throughout. Some games they get a little bit more physical. I don't know. Did you think that they weren't calling that the whole game? I can't say I was watching. Know that in that particular play they got it right. Now, did they get it wrong in previous plays? Well, come on, they never hit 1,000% during a ball game. There's too many moving pieces going on. They're not in position as like they need to be every single time. Sometimes it looks like a foul and they call a foul when you can see on the replay that there was no foul on that play, So when you get to slow the replay down, where we go, oh, he got the call wrong, of course. But when that thing's happening in live motion, it's, you got to compliment those guys. I mean, first of all, that crew didn't get to that game because they're lower tier officials, right? They're getting evaluated each and every day throughout the season to get nominated, to be in the postseason, and then to advance to where they got to. So, I know it sounds crazy. What have I gotten soft at my old age on my coach? You know what? The NABC made me turn in my card here. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know. It certainly did bring.
For more than 80 years, Farm Bureau Financial Services have built relationships first and plans second. We visit your farm or ranch to know exactly what you need. Talk to a local Farm Bureau agent today or visit fdfs.com/protect. It's your future. Let's protect it.
Join the Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B for their Big Four weekend at the CAZ Sports Bar in Casino, Arizona.
ASU all-time great fat lever and 3-time NBA champion Scotty Williams join the guys on Saturday. Plus win cash with their free props and squares contests. That's the Big Four weekend at Casino, Arizona.
I'm attorney Kevin Rowe, here to tell you the biggest thing I've learned about insurance companies over the years, and it's really simple. They don't care about you. That's it. Insurance companies are publicly traded companies who have an obligation to their shareholders to deliver profits. They have teams of investigators, adjusters, and lawyers all working against you from the moment you call them, and they want to pay you as little as possible for your injuries. Hurt in a wreck? Don't be a victim of the insurance companies. Call Lerner and Rowe today.
Lerner and Rowe is the way to go. Call 977-1900.
Win your hyphen Dos Equis. Head to fanpick'em.com to fill out your Twin Peaks Win 910 on 910 Bracket Challenge. It's never too late. Play as you can win Twin Peaks man cards after every round. That's fanpick'em.com.
Are you looking for a change in your career path or just looking to get back into the employment market again? Look no further. All City Towing is searching for motivated teammates to join their team. Current openings are in the areas of customer service, tow truck operators, yard management, facilities maintenance, and dispatch. If you're looking for a challenging yet rewarding opportunity, a great benefits program including 401k program with a generous company match, and a company that is a leader in the industry, apply online at allcitytowing.com/careers or call All City's HR department at 480-833-7278. All City Towing is Arizona's largest towing transport vehicle storage provider. Locally owned and invested within the communities they service. If you enjoy helping others by providing great customer service, working as a team, and possess great communication skills, All City is for you. Apply online at allcitytowing.com/careers or call 480-833-7278. That's allcitytowing.com.
What's all the huss about?
Jeff and Leah Huss on Scottsdale Blonde.
Scottsdale Blonde is a local favorite.
You can find Scottsdale Blonde at your local grocery store, retailers, and your favorite local beer shop. And at findhousebeer.com.
Find Arizona's hometown beer at your local grocery store or findhousebeer.com. Grab a Scottsdale.
All right, guys, I'm just going to come back with the open from Frank here.
Find it on draft or in stores at findhousebeer.com.
Yeah, that was weird, man. I don't know what happened.
They say there are two things you can't avoid, death and taxes, but they don't know about AC Doctors Heating and Cooling. I have an AC Doctors air filtration system, a new AC, and I work out, so I'm a doctor of sorts. I might live forever. And taxes? Well, I just had a brand new AC unit installed with a $2,000 federal tax credit, not to mention thousands of dollars in rebates, discounts, and utility savings. So do what the doctor ordered. An apple a day, and call AC Doctors at 602-767-7435 or visit theacdoctors.com for details.
Style runs in the family. Athleticism runs in the family. Extraordinary runs in the family. The Mercedes-Benz range of SUVs. Learn more at MBUSA.com or test drive one at your local dealer.
He played 8 seasons with the Arizona Cardinals. The Sandman.
It is caught. Touchdown Auburn! Sanders caught it! Touchdown Auburn! Touchdown Auburn!
Frank Sanders joins Calling All Sports with Roc and Manuch.
Guys are hot.
On Fox Sports 910.
Frank Sanders joins us now on the right Toyota guest line, former Cardinal. You follow him on Twitter at Frank Sanders81 or on any golf course on any day that ends in Y. Frank, I need your help, buddy. I mean, I shot. I didn't shoot very well this weekend. Shot a subpar 88, but I had 6 balls in the water, so I would have done pretty well if I had you there helping me with my swing with my new driver. So,
or if there wasn't any water, Frank.
Yeah, I went back to back in the same hole in 2 different ponds.
Wow.
Oh, bad day. But anyway, how's your game today?
Oh, my game's good, brother. I'm at the office. I happen to be watching Aquaman, which is at the office. That's how busy it is over here.
What a shot across the bow. Frank, you are quick-witted, man. Dude, I used to make fun of podcasts now, but, man, they're doing pretty good. Go PHX is really helping you out there, man. Wow.
Like, I figured a couple of things out, but I will say this here, though. On Friday, I was out playing with Andre Roberts and Troy O'Leary, from MLB player, man, in the Valley, him and Ruben Martinez, as well. On hole 13 at Aguila, your boy got a hole-in-one. Yes.
Wow. I love that course. I love playing Aguila.
So let me ask you, Frank, so how did it all go down? I mean, what was his tab?
Well, you know what's funny, man? They flipped it on me, bro. Like they said, we're done with that. The guy that hits the hole-in-one has to be the one that goes out and buy. They actually bought me drinks. I went with I went with a couple of Hennessy's and water just to kind of throw them back a little bit with that. Then I followed it up with a couple of Julios just to chase it down a little bit. And then I overcame it with, I'm just like,
Wait. Did you hit the hole one or the other guy hit the hole one?
Got the hole one. Yes.
I hit the hole in one, but Andre and Troy O'Leary, they great guys. They wouldn't let me buy, man.
That's BS. Dude, I love you, man. I mean, we go way back, but I am freaking getting you to get out that black card, and you are buying the bar. You're buying the whole clubhouse if you get a hole in one. That ain't right. You shouldn't have. That's not right. Who made that change? These young kids? What's going on in the world now?
Those baseball players with the money made that change right there.
Jeez. Makes no sense.
Because we know.
Yes, we know, Frank. The millionaire.
So, all right, hell with talking football today. So, you're on that hole. How far was it? What club did you use, and how did it all go down?
We're playing a game called Banker, and I'm not the banker at this time, which is $5 a person. I take the $5 bet. You hit the ball in the air, you say press, it triples, goes from 5 to 15. If the guy who's last is the banker, if he says he presses it, my 15 turns to 30. But when you have a hole in one, it just turns to 125, basically. So it was 127 yards. It was slight wind coming out of the west direction into my face. I had to club up a little bit, so a little baby 9, little cut shot in there, landed about next to the hole. One hop, spins back with the Titleist Pro VX ball. Yeah, and there it have it. I had a hole in one, just that easy.
Did you? What hole was this? What number?
13.
13. So you were you feeling good by then, I'm sure.
I was lathered really well.
Very relaxed, Rock.
So how many is this for you now?
This is number 3, sir. Number 3.
Wow, you're so lucky.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Hey, you know what, man? You always say I'm always playing golf any day that ends with a Y, and that's pretty much correct if I can. And if you're not first, you're last, Rock. That's where it's at.
I get to play maybe once a week if I'm fortunate enough. But no, dude, congrats, man. I know how awesome. I mean, I don't know how that feels, but I've always wanted to get a hole in one. But man, I'm just perplexed that you didn't have to buy. I can't comprehend that.
So this is what we come up with. Everyone, the former rule is that the guy that hits the hole in one has to buy, right? But that's typically a former country club rule. That was when guys came in and paid. They typically took $1 out of the bill and put it into a hole in one pot. Yeah. And they said whoever hit the hole in one typically walked away.
All right. I think we dropped. Ben, are we still going here? We think we just dropped him. If we dropped him, let's try to call him back if that's the case. As we're having some technical problem. We almost got through.
But
okay, there you go.
Back.
Good.
That's true, but no, we don't do that no more. The guys are like, man, you hit a hole in one. That's an anomaly. You deserve to be blessed more so than you out here paying for hitting a hole in one, which is something that we all desire to do. So they flipped it on me, man. They was like, no, I'm not. I had a black card, but it probably would have stopped somewhere between 100 and 200 just because those guys drink too much.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
They definitely did you a favor. All right, Frank, we got the owners in town down there at the Biltmore. I'm surprised you're not down there hobnobbing with those guys and rubbing elbows and shoulders. If there was one thing you could go to the NFL owners and the competition committee about as far as rule changes are concerned, what would one Frank Sanders pure request be in reference to any kind of rule change this year or the years coming up?
I think that the quarterbacks are so much more athletic than they was in the past, and I think that needs to be a little bit more. They need to really kind of tighten that down, nuts and bolts, when it comes to how to approach quarterback. There were too many ticky-tack situations last year in regards to the quarterback rule. If he was down, if you hit him too high, if you hit him late, if you fell on him funny, he had to fall on with his arms, open wide and legs spread eagle. He couldn't, put any weight down on him. It was too many games that I think that when it comes to that rule, you have to look at the athleticism of the game. The defensive end, the defensive linemen, the linebackers, and the speed of those guys are definitely these guys are absolute athletes. We're watching guys at the combine right now. Defensive linemen and defensive end run 4.3s and 4.5s. That's absolutely crazy. I get that. But when it comes to the athleticism of the quarterbacks at the position, we don't have those guys that just got to sit back there, Manuch. And I think you understand that.
3 minutes.
Watching the athleticism of the quarterbacks. I think that rule on how referees look at quarterbacks in the game, they need to give them a little bit more. They need to give the defense a little bit more leeway to kind of put these guys on the ground, because if not, these guys are kind of getting away with it a little bit more, and it becomes a sensitive situation when it comes to the defensive end and the defensive line.
Well, Frank, you'll be happy to hear this. One of those rule changes is, in reference to that you may have a chance to either challenge it or go ahead and challenge the roughing the passer from that particular standpoint, if you have a timeout left. Now, there'll be some things there, but I agree with you. I think, matter of fact, there was a roughing the passer. The quarterback never hit the ground. Matter of fact, they grabbed him and laid him on the ground, and they called it. But that is being contrived in reference to having either challenges or at that point in time, if you have a timeout left. So they can throw that challenge flag, hopefully, this year, to your point.
I like it. I just think
2 minutes.
The athletes are getting better, and the quarterback position athletes are definitely, man, these guys are looking they're special. They're running 4.3s. They can throw the ball they run like running backs. They run like running backs. They throw like, some of the best quarterbacks ever. So these guys got the skill sets to do it. But the way the offense and the top two offenses right now are running is the RPO system. That's kind of taking over the NFL right now. And I think that's, and unless we go back to the standard pro quarterback set, we look at Josh Allen, and when he first got in, we thought that's exactly who he was, a standard pocket passing quarterback. But when we watch this guy, 6'5", he runs a 4.4, 4.5, and he's just as agile as any receiver or tight end out there, and he's taking on every aspect of what it takes.
Frank, you there? All right, well, Ben, if you can hear us, let's just get to break, and then we'll catch up with our learner in row. One call, that's all. You got us, Ben, back at headquarters, iHeartRadio headquarters. Yes, no, maybe.
See, that's what it was doing when it went out last week.
Same time. So I just emailed Aaron.